This is Josiah Plays Pathfinder Kingmaker. Been eagerly anticipating this game for some time. I backed it on Kickstarter, and although I've never actually played the Pathfinder pen and paper game, I've read Pathfinder books, and I have played a shitload of 3.5 edition D&D, which is what Pathfinder's based on. So I do know some things about how the system works. And the Pathfinder world seems fairly interesting. It certainly seems more interesting than, like, the Forgotten Realms. And this game looks really good. It's created in the style of Pillars of Eternity / Baldur's Gate / Icewind Dale. Those sorts of games. Tyranny as well. Obviously Planescape Torment, my favorite game of all time. But it's created in that style. Text heavy, real time with pause, party based. What's up, son Gniff? How you doing? Good to see ya. Alright, so I've already given a lot of thought to what I'm going to do with my character and who I'm going to have in my party and everything. I played a tiny bit, and I do mean a tiny bit, of the beta of this. This is mostly a blind playthrough. Mostly. I have watched some of the game being played, but only the very early part of the game, and I've played a tiny bit of the beta, mostly messed around with character creation and stuff. I'm sort of aware of who the companion characters are in general terms, like what their race is and their class, basically. So I know which ones I want to have in my group eventually, but I don't know any of the storyline or anything else, so it's largely a blind playthrough. So I'm going to click New Game. Now, this is something I really like about this game. Is there significant bovine influence? Nox wants to know. I'm not sure, Nox. I know that you can bull rush people. So that's one thing. Here's what I like about this. Not only are there a lot of difficulty modes to choose from, they change a lot of different things, and then you can customize it. And basically create your own very customized difficulty setting, which is what I'm going to do. Now, I was watching a developer stream this, and they said this game is tuned to be quite hard, and that you should play on one difficulty level easier than you would normally pick. Which means I'm kind of aiming for normal. But I am going to make it easier in some ways and harder in some ways. So, on normal mode, for example, it defaults to having weak critical hits against your party. I'm going to change this to normal critical hits, so that means my party can be crit harder by the enemies. Because I want it to be closer to the core rules of Pathfinder. So I'm leaving that, I want that, bump that up to normal. So that's kind of like halfway to challenging. Death's Door, however, I don't like that. Your characters receive a deadly injury. Well, okay, so there's various ways this can go. The first way is you can have Death's Door off and Dead Companions Rise off, and what happens is your character goes to 0 hit points and they're just dead. And you have to actually have them raised from the dead at great expense. The sort of halfway in between thing you can have is called Death's Door, where your character doesn't die, but they get a deadly injury, and then they'll die if they get hurt again. And it's a pain in the ass to get rid of the Death's Door injury. I'm turning that off. Instead, I'm going to turn on Dead Companions Rise after combat. I'm going to play this sort of Pillars of Eternity 2 style, where basically your characters don't actually permanently die. They get back up after combat. Now, that makes things easier, but to me, all it really means is less save scumming. Because realistically, what would happen is, if I had my characters die, I would just reload the save and do it over again a bunch of times. So this just saves on some reloading of saves, basically. You could still lose the fight if everybody dies, you know. And the other thing I'm going to turn on is remove negative effects on rest. This game's got some really brutal negative effects that go on your characters that at low levels at least you have no ways to really realistically remove, and I don't like it. I like being able to rest and kind of get rid of everything. So I'm going to turn that on. So by turning these two things on, I've made the game easier than normal mode. But by raising critical hits, I've made it harder, and I'm going to keep making it harder with some of these other things. Auto level up, I'm going to leave that off because I don't want the game to decide how to level up the characters. I'm going to do it myself. Now, enemy stat adjustments, on normal mode, it has it on somewhat easier enemies. It has the power level of the enemies reduced. I'm going to bump that back up to normal enemies, which is what it would be on challenging mode. Then on normal mode, they have the damage to party set at 0.8, so you're actually getting a 20% reduction to all damage your party takes on quote-unquote normal mode. But I'm going to bump that up to 1, so it's the same amount of damage you would take in pen and paper. Enemy difficulty, also on normal. Party speed depends on the weight you're carrying. I don't like this because I hate encumbrance in games, as you may know if you've ever watched me play any RPG. What this does is, if you're carrying too much stuff, your party moves super fucking slow. And I don't like that. So I'm gonna leave that off. Kingdom management, I'm leave on normal difficulty. Only active companions receive experience, I'm gonna leave that off. Only skill user receives skill check experience, I'm gonna leave that off. So the whole party will get XP for these things. Last Aslanti mode, it's basically like an Iron Man mode, where you only have one save slot, and I'm gonna leave that off. Immersive mode disables all the interface, hence lines of attack, current enemy actions, cooldown timers. I'm gonna leave that off, and show tutorial, I will leave on. And that's our difficulty setting. So we have a custom difficulty here. In some ways it's easier than challenging mode. In some ways it's as hard as challenging mode. So it's kind of in between. Now, they've got some pre-made characters here that you can just pick, but obviously I'm not going to just pick a pre-made character. I'm going to make my own. Now, I already know what my character's going to be. In fact, I've even uploaded a custom portrait for myself. Now, here's the portraits that you have to choose from. There's some pretty cool ones. Although the selection is not actually great, considering the variety of races and classes and genders that you might want to make in this game. The variety isn't super high, but the portraits are very good. For the most part. There's a very crazy gnome. So there's some nice ones here. Although the weird thing is, some of these portraits are characters that are in the game. Like NPCs that you meet. Not party members, but other NPCs. And it's a little bit weird that you could use the same portrait as, like, major story characters in the game. But whatever. I've actually uploaded my own set of portraits here to use for my character. And here they are. This happy-looking lady is going to be my character. You could in BG as well. Oh, that's true, son. Yeah, that's true. It's sort of weird, though. It was always weird. So I'm going to be a human. Female. Right-handed. With the larger body type. With the kind of angry, scowling face, which is that one. Slightly darker skin tone. We're going to go with this hairstyle here of a sort of orangish red color. Boom. Appearance is done. I'm not going to go through every option in the character creation in this video, in this playthrough, because there's way too much. Character creation and advancement in this game is hugely complex, and there would be way too many classes and subclasses and abilities and everything to show, and feats. You can't give her a beard? Fail. Yeah, it's a terrible game. No bearded ladies. How do I refund my money? Now, the main class I'm going to have for my character is the Alchemist class, and specifically the Vivisectionist subclass. However, that's not what I'm going to start with, because this is based on 3.5 D&D, which means you can multi-class. Every level that your character gains, you can choose to level in a different class. And so you can combine and make very customized characters, and very unique character concepts. You're not just stuck to one thing. You should play Uninstall Wizard. Hello! I notice you're trying to uninstall a game. Do you need help with that? So I'm mostly going to be a Vivisectionist Alchemist. Character concept is she's kind of a scientist, sort of a, you know, a scholarly scientist type who gets sick of monsters and fucking bandits killing everybody and all of the death and destruction, and it drives her kind of crazy, and she starts experimenting with dark things to empower herself and be able to stand up and fight these monsters and stuff. And basically, the concept is kind of like the Hulk. She's gonna be sort of able to Hulk out and become super strong and big and crazy, even though she's sort of like a, you know, scientist type of character. So she's gonna be an Alchemist Vivisectionist mostly, but she's also gonna have a little bit of Barbarian and a little bit of Fighter. A little bit of Barbarian and a little bit of Fighter. Like 2 levels of each. Specifically, two-handed Fighter. And specifically... Well, I was gonna do Armored Hulk, but now that I've decided to add some Fighter levels, she doesn't really need Armored Hulk anymore. Maybe Invulnerable Rager. Because it sounds cool. So I think I'm going to start her off as a fighter. Even though it makes the most lore sense for the storyline I have in mind to start her as an alchemist, honestly at first level I want her to be tougher. So I'm going to start her as a two-handed fighter. Then when I level up I'm going to be an alchemist, and then I'm going to be a barbarian. And anyway, I'll end up having 2 levels of fighter, 2 levels of barbarian, and 16 levels of alchemist in the long run. So she's going to start as a two-handed fighter. Some fighters focus their efforts on finding the biggest, heaviest, most imposing weapon they can find, and training to manage and harness the weight of their massive weapons for maximum impact. These fighting school benefits only apply when using two-handed weapons. Inquisitor? Yeah, Askell. Inquisitor's kind of like a fighter cleric with a little bit of a gothic sort of, a little bit of a Van Helsing spin on it. Or a little bit of a, maybe even a little bit like The Witcher. But it's a religious class that gets some cleric spells and gets some fighting abilities. It's an interesting class. In fact, one of the NPC companions I'm going to have in my group, Askell, is going to be an Inquisitor. So... And as you can see, every one of these has multiple subclasses, some of which vastly change the way the class plays. It's actually amazing the amount of diversity. Because this is really like 4 different classes. The amount of stuff that gets changed in some of these is huge. So it's really like 4 different classes times all of these classes, plus prestige classes, which are special classes that you can level up in later, but you have to earn it by getting requirements first. Plus you can combine your classes in any way that you want. So there's, you know, thousands upon thousands upon thousands of possible builds, just based on class combinations alone, not even including what you do with your stats and your skills and your feats and your spell selection and your gear selection. I mean, the build complexity in this is enormous, which is exciting to me because I like that kind of thing. Yeah, I think the Inquisitor is a little bit more violence-oriented than a Paladin, typically. It's more of a hunter. You know, like a monster hunter type of thing. Almost like a Witcher, like I said. Instead of, you know, a Paladin is a little bit more of being like a tank or a healer type of guy. Maybe, you know. Play 30 minutes in and remake the character again? Yeah, maybe so. So anyway, starting as a two-handed fighter. We're not going to look at all the classes and stuff right now. That would take ages. Although, I don't know that I get much out of two-handed fighter if I'm only putting 2 levels into it. As a regular fighter, I get bravery. This I get bonus on sunder and disarm attempts. Which I probably won't even use, honestly. So maybe I'll just be a plain fighter. Oh yeah, my character's colors. Sort of a dark red and... Of course, I should probably have green as one of my colors if I'm going with the She-Hulk concept. Now she looks like a ranger. I don't want her to look like Christmas. I can't have green and red. Alright, so that's... I think we're just going to start as a regular fighter then. Alright, so now we're going to do racial bonus for being a human. We're going to put it into strength. We're going to max strength out at 20. We're going to put dex to 13. We're going to put wisdom and charisma to 7. Because of her crazy experiments on herself, she's kind of gone crazy and mad and lost a lot of her faculties as she's devolving into Hulkhood. A lot of con and 13 int. And we're going to be raising int some more as we level up. And she only starts with 4 skills as a fighter, so one's going to be athletics, knowledge arcana, knowledge world, and knowledge nature is what we're going to start with. And then we pick our starting feats. Now we get 3. Normally a character only starts with 1 feat. But you get a bonus feat for being human, and you get a bonus feat for being a fighter. That's mainly why I want to start her as a fighter, so I can get a bunch of feats in the very beginning, which are really helpful. So I'm going to start with power attack. And then I'm going to take... Cleave. Where's Cleave? Cleave. And then I'm going to take Cleaving Finish. So here's how this works. Power attack, she can take a little penalty to her attack rolls to get a bigger bonus on damage, which is even bigger if you're using a two-handed weapon, which she's always gonna do. I don't understand what that means, Photon Joker. With Cleave, she can actually hit 2 enemies with her attack. And with Cleaving Finish, whenever she drops an enemy to 0 hit points, she gets a free extra attack against another enemy. And so, hopefully she'll just be kind of mowing things down. So that's how she's gonna start. So we've got some voice sets here.
Ah, a test. A mere flesh wound. I'll take care of it.
I will see this through. Hold on. Just a little more. Stand with me.
I stand ready.
I'm wounded.
This doesn't suit me.
Let us be careful. I feel faint. Let us bide our time.
Let's move already. I won't take that. Heal me quickly.
This will hurt. I'm wounded. Enemy approaching!
I like the fact that I can literally play the nun one. That's what the nun one sounds like. No, but we're going to be choosing Madman.
Is blackness. I did it! Let's shred them!
Because she's kind of crazy. Oh, in South Park... Oh, the South Park RPG? You could play the Jew class.
May I see your entrails, please?
That sounds pretty on par for South Park. I actually own that RPG because somebody gave it to me as a gift and I've never played it. Okay, you choose your birth date, which I think will come up in game, like maybe when your birthday happens it affects something, I don't know. We're gonna choose Gazran the 7th, because this corresponds to my real life birthday, 7th day of the 4th month. Why not?
Quick, quick! Else we miss all the fun!
So she's a little bit crazy. And obviously we're going to be chaotic neutral, because nothing says crazy. Well, she's going to have barbarian levels, Anonymous. She's just starting as a fighter. She's going to have 2 levels of barbarian, 2 levels of fighter, and 16 levels of vivisectionist. Which allows her to make herself stronger with mutagens and all kinds of, and make herself larger and all kinds of crazy Hulk-like things. Alright, so we're gonna go with Kada for the name. We've got our chaotic neutral. Everything's set here. So this is the character finished. We're ready to start. Ready to start. And like between her natural high strength and her extra strength she gets from raging as a barbarian, and her extra strength she gets from her mutagen, and her extra strength she gets from enlarged person, which she'll get as a vivisectionist, she's gonna have a ludicrously high strength after just a couple of levels, once I have all of my classes. Alright, here we go. Not an unarmed Hulk. No, a two-handed wielding Hulk. I think an unarmed Hulk would be... Well, I don't think it would work very well. Monk, Barbarian, Alchemist. Yeah, the problem is, in terms of stats, Monk does not synergize well with Barbarian, or Alchemist, or Fighter.
Our story started at the mansion of an Aldori sword lord. Drawn by the promise of a most dangerous task and a commensurately huge reward, heroes of all stripes gathered here.
I like this art. I like this style. Look at the detail on the book. I mean, it looks really good. This game's dripping with style. I have a bow.
Where are they? This is taking forever. They didn't even say what this was for, just that the Aldori were looking for heroes. Who are the Aldori anyway? Rich folk?
If you can't be patient, no one's keeping you here. Just go back to your mountains or whatever hole you crawled out of. The Aldori Sword Lords run the premier school for the dueling arts. They're also the richest and most influential group in this part of Brevoy. Take that tone with them, and they'll teach you some manners pretty quickly.
This isn't one of the... Oh! It is one of those things where you get... Oh yeah, we're reading every single one of these. There are several book-like frames in the UI? Really? That's pretty cool. Alright, I'm not a huge knowledgeable person about Pathfinder world lore. Actually, I know very little about Pathfinder world lore, so a lot of this stuff will be new to me. The Aldori Sword Lords arose when famed swordsman Baron Syrian Aldori agreed to train a select group of pupils in his dueling techniques. They ruled Rosslyn for generations, each as prickly and impulsive as the Order's founder. Though they are considered some of the finest sword fighters in the Inner Sea region, they are also obsessed with personal standing and honor. And Brevoy... I can bring up a full tooltip for it, but it looks like it's all on the one. Brevoy is a relatively young nation, having only existed since 4499 AR. I don't even know what 4499 AR means. The history of Brevoy before this time is the history of two often warring nations, Issia and Rosslyn. The coming of Coral the Conqueror changed all this. After securing the defeat and surrender of the two nations, Coral christened his family House Rogarvia. Its rule ended with the mysterious disappearance of every member of House Rogarvia in 4699 AR, leaving Brevoy in a precarious political position. So they're the richest and most influential group. This guy's an obnoxious little gnome.
All right, you purple toad, just shut your trap. And if you can't, I'll help you.
Amiri is one of the iconic characters of Pathfinder. Basically, they have a group of characters in the Pathfinder books called the Iconics. There's like one of each class that are like used in all their little stories and art and everything. What's up, Moz? How'd you miss Character Creation Week? It didn't actually take that long since I already knew what I wanted to do with the character. Just be thankful thieves don't have pickpocket or theft to be watching this game for years.
Hush! Quiet! They're coming.
Casually striding NPCs. No, just take your time, guys.
Greetings, everyone. I am Sword Lord Jamandi Aldori, and this is Lord Mayor Yosef Selimius of Restov. Welcome to my mansion.
It's her mansion, I guess. So we read about the Sword Lords already. Restov is one of the two largest cities in the fertile region of Rosslyn in southern Brevoy. Lord Mayor Yosef Selimius leads the city, which is a trade and cultural center that borders the River Kingdoms, the Shrike River, and the Stolen Lands. As the birthplace of the Aldori dueling style, the city boasts several Aldori and Taldan dueling schools, which has led to the city being a favored place for young nobles to practice dueling championships. Most prominent among them is the Aldori Academy, widely regarded as the region's finest war college. Did she say Sword Lord? I don't think so.
We thank you from the bottom of our hearts for responding to our call. You may be few, but that's unavoidable. We need only the best of the best for this task. And I see true heroes before me, strong and fearless. Exactly what Restov needs.
We only need the best and the best. That's why your level 1 ass is here. The mayor, a middle-aged man with bushy sideburns and a monocle, wears a beaming smile.
Thank you, Lord Mayor. Now, to the point. South of here, just beyond Brevoy's border, lies a region known as the Stolen Lands. This is disputed territory, and while it's long been claimed by nearby states, It's never been truly taken. I won't bore you with the legal technicalities. Suffice to say that anyone with enough courage and power to seize the stolen lands and name themselves Baron or Baroness, claiming dominion, well, none of the neighboring states would be able to challenge it. Of course, Restov would be first to recognize the legitimacy of this new state, as well as the noble title of its founder.
Something about this seems very dodgy. The reward for saving them is 94 copper, yeah. Like, she's basically saying, hey, just go in and take over these lands and you can be the Baron, and we're gonna back you. But why? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that? Why wouldn't you send one of your own people in? Why wouldn't you take it over yourself? See, there's something more going on here, I think. The Stolen Lands are an almost wholly unsettled region in the northeastern section of the River Kingdoms, bordering the nation of Brevoy and serving as a buffer between Brevoy and the River Kingdoms. Traditionally the haunt of bandits and monstrous humanoids, the Stolen Lands are regarded as stolen by all nations along their border, even though none have ever been able to keep these realms under their control for long. Even level 1 adventurers are kind of a big deal compared to common folk. That's true, Anonymous. That is true. It's a trap, says Moz. Probably is a trap.
Unfortunately, one serious obstacle stands between you and this title. A gang of bandits holds sway in the Stolen Lands. Their chief, who they call the Stag Lord, considers himself the rightful owner of these lands, and no one has yet been able to challenge his power. Bring me his head, and you'll be able to return to the Stolen Lands as their legal ruler. Any questions?
All we gotta do is kill this Stag Lord, and we get a barony. Sounds like a pretty good deal. You're helping us found a barony? What do you gain from such generosity?
Don't ask stupid questions. Why should you even care? What they have to gain and why, that's for Lady Aldori and I to discuss. It's none of your concern. Your only concern is to swing your sword around, or whatever it is you do.
Instagnate that fight? Nox, really? Alright, fuck this gnome. I'm gonna kill this little fucker.
Of course, we stand to benefit from this enterprise. But if you're concerned that we intend to rule your country from afar, using you as a front, well, please know that these concerns are unfounded. Let's just say that we have a strong interest in the region's stability. We have need of a ruling power we can negotiate with, not bandit gangs and monster hordes.
But why not just recognize this Stag Lord as Baron?
That's a good point. As I see it, this Stag Lord already holds power over the region with confidence. Many noble bloodlines were started by bandits who just got lucky, weren't they?
Perhaps because we do have standards to maintain. This room has seen many celebrations of adventurers, and even those who just got lucky. But giving a noble title to a bandit lord? That's one thing that's never happened here, and it won't while I still breathe.
The Sword Lord's gaze is chilling as she responds. There's a whole team of us. Who exactly will receive the Baron's title?
I will, of course. I'm the leader of this team, after all. Don't worry, though. I'll make it worth your while to help me.
We haven't yet begun, and you already speak of divvying rewards. What makes you think we'll even succeed? There's little point arguing over who gains the title when we'll most likely lose our lives there.
This is a very weird dwarf.
If I may please answer the question.
Jamadi clears her throat loudly, interrupting the argument. She takes a long pause, waiting for the voices to die down as everyone directs their attention toward her.
We believe you're all equally deserving of a noble title. Over the course of your expedition, it will be up to you as a team to decide which of you is best suited to rule.
Yeah, I decide that it's me. what rewards can we expect exactly?
And what reward would you seek beyond a noble title and your own lands?
The Lord Mayor's eyebrows rise so far he almost drops his monocle. The dwarven answer to Zan, the whiniest of elves. Oh god, he was really whiny.
We'll absorb the costs of preparing and equipping your expeditions. Once you return victorious, Restov will also allocate you a significant sum to provide financial support for you to establish your country. Essentially, we'll help you build your capital. I hope such a reward is satisfactory.
That does actually sound really good. I don't trust this lady, though. I feel like this whole deal is too good to be true. I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop. We're gonna get screwed over somehow. Calling it now.
Words, words, words. Significant, financial. I can't fill my belly with pretty words.
Of course. There will also be an official banquet held in your honor. All of Rostov's high society will gather to celebrate your feat.
Jamandi smiles.
Now you're talking.
Alright then, it's clear as day.
Excellent. You venture forth tomorrow.
Venture forth.
You can take some time to get to know one another better. Or you can head straight to your guest rooms to get some rest. You'll find we've already prepared supplies for you there. And thank you again for agreeing to take part in this expedition. I wish you luck.
Alright. We must gather our party before venturing forth.
Thank you again, with all my heart, for replying to this call. The flare in your eyes reveals your courage, the unshakable will that distinguishes true heroes. I look at you, O champions of Restov, and doubt not for a second that you'll be victorious. So venture forth toward your feet, go, and return in triumph.
I feel like this whole thing is like rehearsed, like they've gone through this before. We're like the 8th group that they've sent. They're so used to saying the same thing to every group. They're literally just repeating lines at this point. I have no doubt for a second that you'll be victorious, just like the 7 groups before you. Nation building, huh? Probably comes with permanent military bases on your land. Oh, good point. Pretty soon they're going to be taking our oil.
Hi, my name's Lindsay. I'm a bard, though this is my first real adventure. So, shall we go teach this stag lord a lesson?
Halflings are extremely tiny in Pathfinder. Look how small she is. It's kind of crazy. Even gnomes are bigger than halflings in Pathfinder, which I find disgusting. Gnomes shouldn't be bigger than anything. Also, gnomes should be dead. We sure will. Just wait. We got plenty of great feats in store.
I have no doubt. Kind of related, I wanted to ask you something. How do you feel about this Tartuccio fellow? I think he's pretty obnoxious, personally. He appointed himself head of the team, and he's just after the Baron's crown, or whatever it is barons wear. Doesn't matter. I don't like him. I think you should be team leader. When I first saw you, I couldn't help but think, now here's a real hero. Someone who'll be praised in poems and songs. This is the person I'll write my book about.
Lindsay blushes a little. See, she's got the right idea. I like the way she thinks. You're saying they shouldn't be tolerant, no matter what the setting? Oh, Nox. Wait, a book?
Damn, I should have led with that. Please, just let me explain. You know what the trouble with most heroes' biographies is? They're always written years later, based on the tales of, best case, people who saw things from the outside. Worst case, someone heard about it from their brother, who heard it from their friend, who heard it from their cousin, and so on, adding a new batch of lies each time. Every time I read about a heroic journey, I think to myself, why didn't they just bring a bard with them to write it all down properly?
So we have a chronicler. Writing in very small books.
And then I thought I could be that bard. I just needed to find a suitable hero and volunteer to follow along on their glorious adventure. A great plan, huh? And here we are, with a heroic journey lying before us. Who's going to be the hero? Some dwarf who keeps muttering about how we'll all die? Or maybe that horrific scythe lady? Or gods forbid, Tartuccio? No way.
Gods forbid Tartuccio. I must rise up and do this thing, just so that Tartuccio doesn't become Baron. What about that barbarian? She looks pretty heroic. I think her name's Amiri.
Really?
Oh shit, I clicked the wrong thing.
Alright, but I hope you change your mind.
Click the wrong thing. Restarting the game.
Alright, I'm going to my room to write about tonight. See you in the morning.
The first step on the road to glory. Now, the whole journal, it even says Lindsay's journal right here, is written from the perspective of Lindsay. But I don't think when I'm reading the journal out that I'm going to do it in a Lindsay voice, because I think that would just be obnoxious. My quill takes its first sip from the ink pot and scripts, or rather scribbles, the first lines of the book about the travels, adventures, and victories that lie ahead. The book that will extol both its heroine and me, its author, Lindsay the... Note to self, when I come up with a fancy nickname, add it here. I am writing this in the banquet hall, where Sword Lord Jamandi Aldori has just finished telling us about the mission that lies before us. Tomorrow at dawn, our team will set off to the Stolen Lands in order to accomplish glorious feats. This is where my book begins. And the gods themselves can't say what will happen next. Yeah, voice actress is really good. Yeah, they haven't made a book-focused bard kit just for her. Paper cutting people, blinding them with ink in the eyes. You know, all sorts of various literary taunts that you can use to distract them. I don't know. We have a long road ahead of us, but we all need to get a good night's sleep. Fortunately, Lady Jamandi has graciously given us each a bedroom in her mansion. I have to admit, I'm so excited that I won't be able to even close my eyes. Unfortunately, or fortunately rather, I had a chance to talk with the future heroine of my book. I think Kata is just the person I was looking for. Prologue. The first step on the road to glory. Encyclopedia. Here's everything about how to play. Which, based on the streams I've watched, no one has ever discovered that this exists, and instead they just complain about not understanding things in how the game works, and they try to figure it out, and then they complain that the game doesn't tell them how it works, and they're really mad. And they've never ever clicked on this in their lives. That's pretty much how it goes. Learning about all the things, learning about all the other things, learning about more things, learning about the bestiary. I'm not even going to look at the bestiary. I don't want to be spoiled of what all the creatures are. But like, this is full text from the I mean, very extensive text about the gods, each god. I'm going to read all of these before we move on, okay? Every one. No, not really. That'd be ridiculous. It's nice that it's in there, though. It was nice of them to take the time to cut and paste this from Pathfinder Wiki or whatever. But like, even full descriptions of the classes and all of their abilities and exactly how they work. And, you know, like I said, this is so much like, basically just stuff directly from the Pathfinder books. Now, normally the Alchemist class gets bombs, and that's a big part of their class. But since I chose the Vivisectionist subclass, I don't get bombs. I'm gonna get sneak attack instead. And like some other weird medical-related stuff. But not healing. Like, more like evil medicine. Like doing experiments on creatures and stuff. Evil medicine. Anyway, so full descriptions of all the mechanics and everything are right in here, which is nice of them. Yeah, nice to be able to look up stuff when you want to know how it works. Exactly. What's up, Frothy? How you doing? There is combat verbal abuse. Here we have a map of the area. Show exits. Show points of interest. Show significant characters and objects. Movement. Alright, I think we understand how movement works in these games. Can't cast spells. Yet. I do get spells as an alchemist. Although they're not really spells. They're like... It's basically like you're creating concoctions that mimic the effects of a spell. Right? Like... You get... What do they call them? Well, I guess it doesn't really say here. This is all just the selectable features. Anyway, you're basically brewing concoctions that mimic the effects of spells. You have a newborn. Oh wow, congratulations, Frothy. Boy or girl? Not everything is in this encyclopedia, sadly. I wish it was even bigger. I wish the full text of every Pathfinder book was in here. The full text. And all the art. In fact, I wish that when I bought this game, a person showed up at my door from Paizo that was here to DM an actual Pathfinder game for me in real life. Unfortunately... we didn't hit that stretch goal on the Kickstarter. Alright, anyway. Sadly, I start with a sword and shield, which is not. Get that shit out of here. We're gonna two-hander this longsword. And a bow? One simply does not use a bow when one is the She-Hulk. I do have some scale mail, though. And a healing potion. I could use a torch, though. I should just fight with a torch. That's kind of a crazy thing to do. And it shows my skills, it shows my alignment, and this is where it'll track all my alignment changes. For all my decisions and stuff. Shows like the different feats and stuff that I have so far. More stats, more breakdown of my stats. Shows my class progression, what I'm gonna get at each level. Shows my full character art plus the alignment thing plus a more detailed thing of the alignment shifts. Alright.
Time becomes distance.
A large map of Brevoy and its surroundings, dotted with numerous cryptic marks and notes. Cryptic marks and notes. To move the camera, use WASD or press and hold the... You know, I think I'm going to want to pop up the sensitivity on this slightly. You know what else? Do you guys think the voice acting sounds kind of quiet on the stream? Girl, now you've got 2 of each, the complete set of 100%ed Parenthood. Congratulations on the Parenthood Platinum. 2 of each. Oh my gosh, Frothy. You must be a busy, busy person with not a lot of free time with so many kids. She-Hulk doesn't use a sword either. Well, now she does. Look, her intelligence is going to go up. The story I have for my character is that she's kind of gone insane due to experimenting with weird alchemical things. And so she's sort of lost her faculties. So her intelligence is sort of temporarily reduced. As she gets used to her new state in life and controlling the madness within, her intelligence is going to go back up as I add more points to it as she levels up. The voice is a wee bit low. Not my voice, though, right? The voice is in the game, you're saying. Yeah, I thought so, too. So I'm going to have to make this a little more complex than just putting master volume to 25 and calling it a day. What I'm going to do... Magic chance volume. What I'm going to do is put master volume back up to 100. And just move music and ambient down to 25. And maybe the magic chance down to 50. We'll see how that goes. You guys let me know as I continue playing through the game that how that works out. Of course, now the voice volume will probably be loud as shit, but we'll see. Get some rest before the road. You've a difficult journey before you. I'll double the guard for the night, just as a precaution. Oh, I'm sure nothing bad will happen. It may be difficult, but at least it won't be boring. Oh, Tartuccio. Tomorrow our glorious journey begins. Are you ready? I hope so. I don't need layabouts on my team. I like how I'm just casually jogging around here. Just simple bandits? We'll deal with them in no time. Our own barony. Now that's a prize worth fighting for. This expedition is surely doomed. What game is Jamandi playing? I'm not used to feeling like a pawn. Jathal, she's gonna be on our team later.
Step, step, step.
I wonder what the button is to... Oh, that's the button. Pretty sure I was already using that button before I wondered what it was. Alright. Doesn't look like there's anything I can loot here in the throne room. Alright, it's time to save the game. Those are not swords, those are very big scalpels. That's what it is. It's just an enormous vivisectionist scalpel. It'll take a couple levels before I can go into full-on Hulk mode. Nice room.
Help!
Lindsay bursts into your room. She looks scared. Her face is smeared with soot, and she holds a weapon in her hands. What's going on?
The mansion's under attack. We need to help. Some villains broke in and started killing everyone. I barely made it. Hurry, we have to help the guards fight off the attackers, or we'll all be cut down one by one.
As if to lend credence to Lindsay's words, a scream echoes from the hallway. Alright. That sounds important. Is there any loot in this room, though? Oh, who's this asshole? You're not going anywhere! Alright, combat happens in real time. You can pause, right? I've played a million of these games before. Based on Pathfinder, uses dice rolls. Initiative, the earlier the character can act. Okay. Get an attack roll. I get it. Yep, damage. Armor class. I understand.
I'll carve my name onto your flesh.
Character said she's going to carve her name onto somebody's flesh. I have power attack on already, which is great.
Die, die, die!
Alright, I know how to pause and unpause. Thanks. Get him. Take your time about it. Owned. 16 damage at level 1 with a fucking longsword. Now we're talking. Trophies. Or when you hold tab. Can I rebind that? I'm not super thrilled about it being tab, even though that's a pretty typical key for it to be. Let's just make sure that we're not using Alt for anything else here. We're using it for a lot of things, actually, but not by itself. So, where's my highlight items key? Is that's not a thing I can change? You motherfuckers. Refunding them. Getting a refund on my Kickstarter. Not how that works, but... Alright. Quick save is F5. That's important. 3-second wind up and they can't dodge it. Do I want some chain shirt? Do I want some dagger? No, I don't, because those things are heavy. Although, that's worth 25 gold. Alright, look, I'll start taking stuff, but once my inventory starts getting ridiculous, then I'll have to drop some things, probably. Checking the room. What's my armor class? Only 16. It's not great. The assassins are already here! Follow me, quickly! Now you're telling me about the journal? Tell me about the journal. She stopped to write this down. I thought you turned off encumbrance. Encumbrance is still a thing. It just isn't going to affect me in the same way that it normally does by default. How far are we? We are literally in the beginning, Splode. This is the beginning of the tutorial. I like how Lindsay stopped to write this down in the middle of the attack. I didn't manage to get any sleep, but it wasn't due to my excitement. In the middle of the night, the mansion was attacked by some cutthroats who came out of nowhere. Blood and screams everywhere. It was terrible. I had no idea what was going on, but Kata was in the room next door, so I decided we had to team up or they'd cut us down one by one. Alright, let's go. They got someone. We have to help.
Look, they're running. Get them. And what shall we do with this one? We'll finish him later. He won't get away.
Alright, motherfuckers are about to get wrecked. How about some cleave? Maybe I can hit them both.
You're just in time.
Owned.
A bit longer and I'd have been... Whew, I don't even want to think about it. Can you imagine what a terrible loss this would have been? But it's all right now. I'm safe, sound, and unscathed, ready to lead you to victory.
Damn it, we just inadvertently saved Tartuccio. Why?
Lady Jamandi's holding the line in the banquet hall. You know, the one where she had us gathered before. We need to make our way to her. And along the way, we'll try to save some of these dummies who are supposed to accompany us to the Stolen Lands. Speaking of dummies, take this ring. Quiet now, so that little fool doesn't hear us. She might try to steal it herself. It's magical. It'll protect you. You'll need it while you work to defend me.
The gnome looks back at Lindsay and starts whispering as he takes a ring off his finger, handing it to you. Nothing about this seems suspicious. Tartuccio's presence. Yeah, got it. A fancy golden signet ring with an intricate monogram. A personal gift from Tartuccio to Kata. It's a +1 AC ring. Wait, why was my AC down to 14? Oh, because I just used cleave. I killed both of those guys in one hit. Can we see the combat log? Oh yeah, I want to extend the combat log a little bit anyway. So, I hit the first guy with a crit. 31 damage at level 1 with a normal longsword. That is beast mode. And then my Cleaving Finish talent activated, allowing me to get a free attack on the other one. And took him the fuck out. Yeah, my character's a badass. Wait, did I just reduce this person to a rib cage? That's a pretty strong hit. I'm not gonna pick up all these shitty daggers. In fact, I don't even... Oh, now I've got Lindsay and Tartuccio with me. Alright, so Lindsay's got a crossbow. She's got a Scroll of Cure Moderate, a Scroll of Cure Light. Lindsay's ring prevents her from dying and teleports her to a safe location should she fall in battle. That's pretty good. She's got some leather armor. She's a bard. She's got terrible strength but decent dex. Decent charisma. I think technically she could wear this chain shirt. And as a bard she wouldn't have any arcane spell failure because she's a bard, and they get an ability that lets them... The Heroine's Chronicler. I'm Lindsay, the author of the book you, my dear reader, hold in your hands. I once studied at the Academy of the Arts in Pitax, but I decided that a real bard doesn't belong within the suffocating walls of some school. I instead set off to find a hero, one worthy of being praised throughout the ages, and that's how I came to chronicle Kata's journey to the Stolen Lands, and all that happened afterward. So this is, I guess, the first part of her story, or whatever. Good at persuasion, she's got some mobility, she's got some stealth, trickery, use magic device, some knowledge. Dude, she's got skills for days. Of course, I guess that's part of the thing of being a bard. Demoralize. You can use your persuasion skill to cause an opponent to become shaken. Okay. She can inspire courage. We get a bonus to saves and attack and damage rolls. She's got some spells. Extra performance feat. Yeah, bard wearing light armor doesn't have arcane spell failure. Alright, so... what spells does she have? She has ear-piercing scream. Someone's a plot essential NPC. Yeah, I guess so, Hippofant. Is that because of your silly amount of strength? Yeah, it's because of my silly amount of strength. And the feats that I took. My power attack plus cleave and cleaving finish is a really strong combo for a starting fighter. Someone has to write the journal. She can't die. Yeah, it would then become, you know, somebody else's journal. Your piercing scream uses a spell slot to daze somebody and do some shitty damage. Okay. Or cure light wounds, which is obviously what she's really going to be using her spell slots for. Let's keep it real here. And she's got these little cantrips, which are just glorious. Now, this is one thing I don't like. Right? It tells you the creature is dazzled. But if you want to know what dazzled does, you've got to go over here, go to fucking, like, wherever the conditions are. Wherever the conditions are. I don't know. Somewhere in here are probably the definitions of the conditions. And look up what Dazzle does. Now, I'm pretty sure all that Dazzle does in Pathfinder is give them like a -1 to hit. I think that's all it does. It's way less good than Real Blind. It's me, Emma1. You got a vampire gnome in your party. That's a good point. This is a nightmare. The mansion is swarming with cutthroats, killing everyone they could find. Lady Germandi is on the defense in the banquet hall, and we have to help her. And we have to gather anyone who is still alive along the way. Alright, so she's got some spells.
Adventures call to them.
What does this do? She's got her bardic song, which isn't on her bar for some reason. Acrobatics. Fighting defensively. Demoralize. Charge. The scrolls. So she's got 13 rounds per day that she can use the courage song, I think. Flare is kind of a garbage spell. Touch of Fatigue. Actually, that's not bad, but that's a... Oh, that's a 0 level spell, but then she's got to be in touch range. Light, right, your typical. Resistance is... yeah. And Daze. Daze is actually okay at low level. You always make Emma win a bard? Really? I like keeping her as a pure rogue, even though you kind of can't keep her as a pure rogue in Baldur's Gate 2. Or I guess she's not even really a rogue in Baldur's Gate. She's a thief, right? So they didn't call them rogues back in 2nd edition. Alright. Well, we'll give her a dagger as a backup weapon. Then we've got this little goof.
Just letting the ink dry.
So she's got two cure lights that she can cast. And a crossbow. And she can sing her little song.
In the light in me.
Now we got Tortuccio, who's a douchebag. Chaotic evil, just because, you know. He's also got a crossbow. He doesn't need these potions. Gnomes don't get to drink potions in my party. She can have one. And I can have another one. I guess you can't stack them. Each one takes up its own slot. Look at this, though. It actually shows them on your belt. I thought it did. Yeah, look, there's a potion right there. There's both of them. You can see both potions right there. Fun trade between frenemies. That's right, Nox. Yeah, rogue was like a category that thieves and bards fit into, right? He doesn't have any armor because he's a sorcerer. Alright, what's his deal? A sorcerer with no equal. Tortuccio is a powerful sorcerer who can burn an enemy to a crisp with the flick of his finger. Unfortunately, his power is matched only by his arrogance. I wonder, why is power always given to such self-satisfied people? He's got a lot of persuasion, a lot of use magic device, a lot of charisma. Greater spell focus evocation, so he's a pretty typical blaster. Draconic bloodline. Extra damage on fire damage. Apparently he can grow claws. I should make him melee. Draconic bloodline. Skill perception. Alright, what's he got for us? He's got burning hands and magic missile. Alright. Seems reasonable. 5 spells per day. She only gets 2 spells per day. Cheating ass Tortuccio. Oh, and he's got Acid Splash, and Ray of Frost, and Jolt. Within close range. Within close range. Within close range. I don't know what close range means in this context. Since these are clearly ranged spells, so they don't mean close range like melee. Okay, that's within touch range, so that's melee.
Time's wasting.
Now, I don't know what these people will do if left to their own devices. you know, if I leave them to their own devices in terms of AI, I don't know what they'll do. But I guess we're gonna find out. He does have 5 good spells.
What troubles
and
you?
She has 2
I
heals.
crave for adventure.
And I am, at this point, the de facto tank. Alright. Come on, party. We gotta check these rooms to make sure nobody in here needs help. Check the body. Oh, this one's already dead. I guess we'll check the chest. Some gold. A bloodstone. A longbow is kind of worth a lot of money. You have spell description set to adult mode in options. Adult mode?
I don't tolerate fools.
I literally have it set to... I thought I had it set to full. Like, there's a thing in here about the spell... about the tooltips. Simplified spell description... Oh, that's on. I don't want that on. Yeah. I thought I had that off. Wait a minute. Oh, I just realized something. All of the things I picked before when I was messing around in the game are reset. I have to reset these settings. Because, like, I had tooltip delay set down to 0. I had simplified spell descriptions off. Okay, I still have... I set these both to 10, and that's still on, so... Enable looting during combat? No. I don't like action bar slots autofill. AI doesn't use expendable spells. Okay. Show combat text for everything. The rest of this probably is fine for now. Auto pause on lost focus. Keep moving after combat. Pause when a trap, pause when a hidden object, pause on combat start. None of the other auto pauses are on. Okay. So now it should tell me. What? Wait, are you being serious right now? No, it still says close range. It still doesn't actually say what the range is, but I can see what the range is by mousing over it. It shows me the range right there. So close is pretty fucking far, actually. What's this? Stealth, AI, camping. I don't think we can camp here. Hold, tell units to hold, open the map. Tell units to stop. Journal. Formations. Some gold, some incense. Just as pretend it's 5e and imagine it. Imagine what? Mansion's under attack by mysterious assassins. Perfect time to stop and read a book. An old map of Avestan. A merchant would pay well for it. Apparently they wouldn't pay that well. It's only worth 2 gold. Perfect time to stop and read a book. The Curse of Ancient Iobaria by Hastaf Tell us, O teacher, why would Brevoy call us barbarians in the books you give us? The gods became angry with our homeland, my son. This land has devoured so many great empires, as if it was unwilling to bear life. There are centuries-old ruins around our settlement. They were ravaged by a star that fell from the sky. The kingdom of the Cyclopes was the first victim of its curse. New settlers claimed this land 10 centuries later to establish a beautiful country named Iobaria, which stretched from the Lake of Mists and Veils to the Castrovan Sea. But the curse still lay upon these lands, and trouble came once again. Our ancestors suffered numerous maladies: the tear plague, the char death, the choking death. A lot of different deaths for these guys. You wouldn't trust that vampire gnome? It's a good point, Maz. One after another, leaving only pain behind. People say that Otib the Necromancer was to blame. But who knows? A great civilization was turned to dust. This is why I'm teaching you. Revoy shouldn't make fun of you or call you barbarians. Alright. Cool. This store is not accessible. Yeah, I got companions, right? I can select them. I can marquee select. I can backquote my whole party. Got it. Take some gold. A copper ring. So I could have just hit collect all. I see
Shall
some
we move?
assholes over there.
We shall move. I see blood. Blood!
Yeah, I know they have spells. Usable abilities. Got it. Attacks of opportunity. I understand. By holding down Unknown Binding while the game is paused, you can make time move slowly for better combat control. Interesting. Alright, we aced that guy. Let's get in here and drop a cleave on these guys. I guess I didn't get my second attack. Alright, we're kind of kicking ass. Health and death. Character has a certain number of HP. You can use healing stuff. Yep, got it. Ooh. Cure moderate potion. Cure light potion. More cure light potions. How about this leather armor? Padded armor. Worth 1. Weighs 10 pounds. Nope. So... would we rather use a short bow? Or a light crossbow? Why do I feel like the short bow will fire faster? Probably at first level, it comes out exactly the same, I guess. And I'm going to put the Cure Moderate potion on my bar. In fact, I'm going to load myself up with these potions. And give Lindsay a couple. And you know who doesn't get any potions? You. You don't get any potions, Tartuccio. Nice little library room here. Somebody in here might need help. Red health potions look blue on the character model, literally unplayable. These ones look green. Literally unplayable. Oh yeah, I was thinking about giving her a chain shirt. Now she has better armor. She's the tank now. She can use a shield, right? So I could put her in full-on beast-ass tank mode if I wanted to. Of course, she wouldn't be able to attack worth a shit because she's using a dagger and she has terrible strength and she doesn't have the weapon finesse feat that would allow her to use her dexterity. So she would have no fucking ability to attack, really, if I put her in this, but she could tank some shit up with an AC of 20. Of course, she has 11 hit points, which isn't awful. But no, let's go ahead and have her use her crossbow for now. Also, what did my party members do in that last fight? I ran up. I killed a dude. Tartuccio used an acid splash. Tartuccio missed with an acid splash. I killed a dude. Lindsay shot her crossbow. I missed. Tartuccio did another acid splash and a big 1 damage. Thanks, Tartuccio. Way to contribute. Oh, and then Lindsay actually killed the guy with her crossbow. Alright, cool. I thought I got all the kills there. Oh, now she's encumbered, though.
And Lindsay was called forth.
That's the bad news about having an 8 strength, is you can't load her up with all this stuff. I think she's still encumbered. Wow, look at this! Encumbrance affects the time before your fatigue is reduced. It also affects all these skill checks, and it shows you all of that when you mouse over it. That's actually pretty cool to know. Well, shit. Maybe she shouldn't wear a chain shirt. There, now she has no penalties. Once you level for weapon finesse, what? I suspect you're doing it all now. I can't believe it! That could have been us! Oh yeah, there's some... Well, their adventures have certainly come to an end! Some hide armor. And a heavy mace. Nobody wants that. Oh no, is everyone dead? Pathetic! They couldn't even defend themselves, but they thought they could conquer these stolen lands? An empty notebook. There you go, Lindsay. Just casually looting this place. Don't laugh at Acid Splash. Oh, no, I know it'll be super useful against, like, trolls and stuff. And other things that, you know, we can't affect with weapons or kill with weapons. I'm laughing at it for now, though. Everything looks really good in this game. The level of detail is really high. The graphics are really nice. Let's grab some trout. Cooking Almanac of the Inner Sea by Jubilos Narthropple. It is perhaps Avastan's most popular dish. In the capital of Cheliax, it is baked in a cheese crust and sprinkled with lemon juice. That actually sounds really good. The local fishermen use a different cooking methods in Kadira, which is on the opposite end of Avastan. There you will find it finely chopped and mixed cold ingredients. The exact origin of the dish remains unknown, but it is generally believed to have been invented in Andoran and spread around the globe by seafarers and pilgrims. It's served as plain pâté in its most basic version. To prepare it, soak the herring in a spiced marinade, then mince it into a spreadable paste. Add a mashed tart green apple, hard-boiled quail eggs, the freshest butter you can find, in before Nox says something about butter, and half an onion. The list of ingredients may vary in the inland regions. In the region of Nirmathas, beef or lamb... Beef! Savages is used for this snack. I once tasted a highly original and equally highly disgusting version cooked with milk and mushrooms on the border of Druma. Torches are okay weapons versus things that physical damage won't hit. Doesn't have that weird edgy feel like pillars. Yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean, Anonymous. Some edible moss, some delicious fowl, eat more chicken, and some butter! A lot of gold we're finding, and a silver ring. We're just taking all the stuff.
Blood for Gorum!
Oh, here's a Miri.
It's the
with her
end for
giant
you
sword.
rats!
Her sword is literally a giant sword.
They dare to attack me?
Let's charge this guy.
Work! Work, you silly spell!
Take your time about it, though. Alright, two-hander crew.
Oh, it's you. Stay up from under my feet or I'll strike you down.
The barbarian's face is distorted with rage. She grinds her teeth and sweat drips from her forehead. Noticing Tartuccio, she swings her sword but stops it just in time. Oh, why'd you stop? It would have been so awesome if she would have just chopped Tartuccio in half.
Blood for Gorum!
Amiri takes a deep breath and barks out, "Blood for Gorum." Swinging her bloody sword, she runs toward the sound of battle. Gorum, also known as our Lord in Iron, is a god of battle above all other pursuits. It is said that he would rust away into nothingness if there is ever a time with no more conflicts to be fought. His faithful believe he is present in every iron weapon of war that is forged.
Barbarians.
I think that's exactly how heroes should be.
It's Red She-Hulk. It's the end for you rats as you know it. Nice, son.
What, stupid, sweaty, and always looking for something to gobble up or lop the head off of? Calistria, save me from such heroes.
Calistria, also known as the Savored Sting and the Unquenchable Fire, is the goddess of lust and revenge who takes on many faces and guises. I like the sound of this goddess. She is held in especially high regard by elves, who often identify with her mercurial moods and changeable nature. A fondness for wasps has earned this vengeful deity the title of Savored Sting. Such creatures live on after harming their enemies, a trait Calistria's followers hope to emulate when pursuing their goals. Alright, Tartuccio. The heavy grate is securely locked. Another healing potion. And some terrible daggers. You know, I have piles of strength. I can equip more shit. Like, I could have an... Like, this is my using it in two hands thing, but I could actually... Like, if I want to tank some shit up, I could go torch and shield. 1d3 plus 6 with a torch. What if I was wielding one of these fine daggers? Be 1d4 plus 6, probably. Yeah. Probably worth it to just use a torch. Ever-burning torch? Wow. Only weighs 1 pound. Let's give her one as well, just in case. Yeah. Let's see. This looks good so far. Most complaints on Steam are about difficulty and scaling. They seem to be addressing. I don't mind those issues. I like being able to make a failed character and having to put in some strategizing. Splode, the problem seems to be that you're not really given the counters for the set encounters. There isn't much strategizing involved. Just try and try again until RNG lets you win. I don't think that's true. I think there's a huge difference in how you build your character. You could build a really shitty character, and I've watched a couple of streamers who built really shitty characters and had a much harder time, or you can build a really good starting character, depending, you know, and that can make a big difference with early encounters. I mean, if you assign your stats poorly and pick bad feats instead of good feats, it's a huge difference in your power level at low level.
Time becomes distance.
Talking about combat strats, not character builds. Oh, I see what you mean. Well, combat strats also kind of depend on what abilities you have, though. Like if you're a spellcaster and you have certain spells. It's your last chance, drop your weapons. So generous. I'm afraid I can't offer the same courtesy. Hey, you ugly mug, get them. Giant frost giant just runs. What in the hell's name is that? Comes in and murders everyone. I'm not going to be fighting that thing anytime soon. Big scary frost giant moves on with his life after crushing this guy just by walking him. Yeah, that's the thing I've noticed when I'm looking at other streamers playing this, is they don't know anything about D&D or Pathfinder, so they don't understand what anything means. You know what I mean? Like, they look at tooltips, and they don't really understand what it's even talking about, you know? So there's a huge difference between knowing about D&D and not knowing about D&D when it comes to understanding how to play a game like this. Padded armor, a club. I'll take that potion. Frost Giant did 51 damage to all three of them. Yeah, we're not fucking with him anytime soon. It's the lieutenant of the big bad that you're going to think is the big bad for all of Act 1. He doesn't even have a name, though. He's just Frost Giant. So I don't even think he's a lieutenant. I think he's just some Frost Giant.
Step.
Game not giving you the counters you need. We should have a large person. I don't feel like any of these RPGs, Pillars of Eternity, Baldur's Gate, any of them, I don't feel like any of them give you the counters you need at low level. In any of these type of games, you can't do shit at low level. You just have to hope you don't die. Light shield, longsword, spear. At first level, it gives you the counters you need. You can't do shit at first level. You could cast your one spell. Your one bad spell. The passage is blocked. You can't make it through this way. Skill check. Alright. Different skills are used for different checks. Can only be retried after a character raises their skill rank. Applying this bonus doesn't give you a chance to retry. Yeah, so I'll be save scumming every lockpicking attempt. Because you can only lockpick one time. The heavy grade is securely locked.
Applause, please.
Let's make this quick.
Oh, look at these assholes. Alright. Charge.
Work! Work, you silly spell!
Wow, my initiative is terrible. Alright, don't charge then. Cancel that.
Let the
Just kill this guy.
commence!
Nice asses flat. At least I hit hard when I eventually act. I don't give reason, you just have to trust me. What? What's up, Schiff? How you doing? Good to see ya. You know, it'd be cool? A fucking two-handed sword? Or some kind of two-handed weapon? Also some better armor than this? Just saying. Also, I think a lot of people play on a higher difficulty than they really should play on. A lot of people, it's like an ego thing. They feel like they have to play every game at the hardest difficulty, so then they play a game like this, even though they don't know shit about games like this, or know shit about D&D or Pathfinder. They're like, lol, hardest difficulty, let's go. And then they get completely destroyed, and they're like, oh, bad game. Well, it's not a bad game. Play on fucking normal.
Trail me.
An armory. I'm sure Jamandi wouldn't mind if we borrowed some weapons.
Break the door to the armory and find some weapons. Weapons sound good.
Anything else?
Anonymous, in that case, I may not have been paying enough attention. Interactive objects highlight. I know. I know. A masterwork, that means we're definitely taking it. A composite longbow, we're taking that.
Step, step, step.
Ooh, banded mail. Finally some armor that's not bad, like scale mail. That'll kick me up to a 19 AC. 21 if I switch to the shield. A watchkeeper's key. A small key that opens the northern wing of the mansion. A tower shield weighs 45 pounds and gives you a -2 to attack and a -10 to all your skills. 45 pounds. I'm not even gonna take that tower shield. I don't even want it.
What have we here? This chest is full of gold. I guess it's for the guards' salaries, all things considered. Well, those freeloaders don't seem to have been working too hard for it. Maybe we should pocket it instead.
Bertuccio looks at the chest on the table and rubs his hands together.
What? No, we're heroes, not thieves.
Okay, hold on, Lindsay. Wait a second. Why is this a moral choice if we've been looting every fucking container up till now, taking gold out of them, and now all of a sudden, no, we're not gonna take some gold? We've been taking gold this whole time, and nobody gave a shit.
Who said we were stealing it? We'll just take the gold for safety so the assassins don't get it. And then we can heroically return it to Jamandi when this is all over.
Stealing from a sword lord in their own mansion? She'd have our heads.
How would she know it was us and not the assassins? Unless someone planned on telling her.
The gnome throws a sideways glance at Lindsay.
Don't drag me into this. You do what you want, but I'm not taking a single coin.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave the gold. I don't want to get in trouble with the Sword Lord right out the gate from trying to steal from him. Her. I'm sure I'll get plenty of gold. I don't need that 210. It's party gold, Lindsay. Yeah, encumbrance. Okay. You can see the penalties. Like right now, nobody should have any encumbrance penalties. Although she's really close. And then as a party, we don't have any encumbrance penalties. But soon we will, but I think all the party encumbrance does is slow you down, and I think I have that turned off in the options.
Time becomes distance.
What alignment is your character finder? Chaotic neutral.
Oh, familiar faces. I hope you're not so frightened as to swing at every shadow. It's me, Jathal. I don't recommend advancing down the hallway, assuming you value your life, of course. There were a few people with me, and you can see what happened to them.
The pale elf looks eerie in the semi-darkness, like a ghost given flesh. The alignment-less alignment. Well, I guess true neutral would really be the alignment-less alignment. Chaotic neutral is just pure chaos. Without giving much thought to good or evil. Just chaos all day long.
And just how did they all end up dead while you don't seem to have a scratch?
Tartuccio eyes Jathal suspiciously.
I'll answer but briefly and just once. Further scares and explanations will wait until we aren't being hunted by a group of assassins. Deal? All right. I'm undead. These traps are deadly to the living, but they're harmless to me.
Sylvanas up in here. Undead elf? It's my type.
What do you mean undead? Really? Like zombies or skeletons or...
As I said, further explanations will wait until later. All you need to know right now is that we're on the same side, and we have to fight off a small army of hired assassins. Let's get to it.
Father-in-law runs a good place, but old Mother Chaos is winning the race, says son. Jathal looks at Lindsay as though at an annoying fly. So we have a new party member. You'll encounter traps. They'll automatically make a perception check. Game will automatically pause. Trickery check to disable the trap. If you fail, it remains in place. If you fail by 5 or more, it goes off. Okay. Let's take a look at our new character. She is an Inquisitor, which is a kind of weird Pathfinder class. Using a scythe. A masterwork scythe. Who's getting fancy? She's got a lot of strength. And dex, and wisdom, and charisma, but no constitution because she's literally undead. She's got a nice 18 AC. And a couple of scrolls, Divine Favor and Expeditious Retreat. She's got some chainmail. Okay. Oh, she can't use healing potions because she's... Ooh, Potion of Enlarged Person. Let's bring that right the fuck over here. She can't use healing potions because she's undead. Regular healing actually harms her, not heals her. So that's awkward. Made con her dump stat before becoming undead. What a power gamer. Neutral evil, aka morally gray. I wouldn't call that gray exactly. It's pretty morally black. Jathal is an elf from Kyonin, one who is not quite alive. The elves exiled her from their kingdom for her terrible deeds. Morally gray. Her search for a new home and a new patron has brought her to our leader's banner. She pays little heed to her companions, and when she does, she behaves as if she's ready to bite their heads off. She gives me the creeps. Let's hope our enemies are just as frightened. She's got some religion, some arcana, a shit ton of perception. Like, is she like the ultimate of perception compared to everyone else? Yes, because the rest... Oh my god, my perception's a -2. Alright, so she's the one that's going to detect the traps and stuff. Let's see. She can treat affliction. Do I have that? No. Tend to a diseased or poisoned character. She's got a bleeding touch. As a touch attack, she can cause a living creature to take a d6 damage per round, equal to half your cleric level. Minimum 1. Can use this like 6 times a day. So it does a d6 damage at her level. That's not that cool. She has all these judgments. Like, so many judgments. We'll look at those in a minute. She's got toughness. She can use medium armor, but not heavy. She can use shields, but she's kind of invested in this scythe thing, considering this literally in her picture. Like, it's in her art. She's got to use a scythe now, right? It was a Sylvanas joke? Oh. I didn't get it. That scythes have that nice ×4 crit. Alright, what do we have here? She can cast orisons. She can use proficiencies. She worships Urgathoa, also known as the Pallid Princess and Lady Despair, is the goddess of physical excess, disease, and the undead. She is mostly worshipped by dark necromancers, the undead, and those wishing to become undead. Sometimes those who live gluttonous lifestyles make supplication to her, as do those suffering from a serious illness. Her faithful believe she was the first creature to defy Pharasma and return unnaturally from the boneyard and break free from the cycle of souls. Favorite weapon is a scythe. Alright, so she worships an evil-ass god. She's got Death Domain. She's got a Stern Gaze. Bonus on persuasion checks for intimidation. And perception checks. Okay. She can do judgments. You can use it once a day. Lasts until the combat ends. And she selects a type of judgment. She's got Death Domain. She's got Detect Magic. Used in dialogues. Oh, interesting. Alright, so that's what she's got right now. Let's talk about her spells. Oh, I see. She's only got a couple. So Inquisitors are kind of like sorcerers or bards in that they don't have all the spells that like a cleric would have. They only have a couple of spells that they know. She's got Inflict Light Wounds, which she can use to heal herself because she's undead. And she's got Divine Favor. Only affects her, plus the attack and damage. Nah, she's going to obviously save her spells for Inflict Light Wounds on herself, because that's the only way to heal her. So she can be up in front with me.
State your desire.
Now let's talk about... Wait, she's got... Oh yeah, she's got all the level 0 spells as well. Acid Splash and Daze and all that. Guidance, Virtue. How long does this last? A minute. That's not long enough.
My patience is running thin.
Speak.
Okay, so that's her spells. She's got Charge, Demoralized, Treat Affliction, Bleeding Touch. Now, a million types of Judgment. We gotta look at all those. And she's got a couple scrolls here, which we'll end up selling, realistically. She doesn't come with an Inquisitor hat, though. I know, right? Learn to get Inquisitor hat. Fight defensively. Alright, so here's the judgments. One is Destruction. She gets a +1 to damage rolls for the fight. Healing. She gets fast heal. Ooh, that's really good considering how hard it is to heal her. Justice. Bonus to attack rolls. Piercing. Bonus to concentration checks and checks to overcome spell resistance. Protection, plus to armor class. Purity, plus to saving throws. Resistance, 2 points of energy resistance. Resiliency, DR1 magic. And smiting. Her weapons count as magic. Oh, that's pretty fucking nice. And at higher level, they count as better stuff. So that's a lot of versatility the class has. Now, remind me again, how does she get more? I mean, obviously leveling up, but what does she get in the way of more judgments? Because once per day is lame as fuck. Fourth level and every 3 levels thereafter, you can use an additional time per day. I'm not thrilled about this Inquisitor class at all. I'm pretty sure I'm going to multi-class her the fuck out of that. Because I don't think it's a very cool class. From looking at it on the Pathfinder D20 SRD website, I didn't think it was a very cool class. I mean, it gets some different weird abilities, but based on the planned party that I'm going to use, I think I'm going to have to just make her my cleric. I'm pretty much just going to multi-class her into cleric, I think. She won't be a very good cleric because she's evil, which means she won't get channel positive energy. She'll get channel negative energy, which means she can't use it to heal us. But I'm not going to take any of the other clerics that are available in the game, so she'll pretty much have to be my cleric. I mean, she has decent enough wisdom that she can pull it off. So for now, though, she can be up in front with me, two-handering fools. Two-handering. That's a real word. I'm just gonna do this for now. Is this literally just a dead end over here?
Forwards! No, backwards, backwards!
You can see, I like how you can literally see that shield on my character even though I don't even have it equipped right now. Like, you can see my backup weapon. In fact, I wonder if you can see...
Anything is possible.
If you can see her little dagger that's equipped on her. I guess you can. It's right there. You might even be able to see the torch. It's hard to tell. Is that the torch right there? It is. That's actually the torch. Sticking up right there. Well, now it's gone, but... yeah, there it is.
And so they walked on.
I like having Jaethal in the front, though, too, because she's got the high perception. Now, she said there's a bunch of...
Spy? What do I spy?
I'm the one that made the perception check with a -2? Ah, the difficulty was only DC 5. They're softballing it for me. Alright, Lindsay.
Adventures call to them.
That's all you.
Applause, please.
9 fat experience for that. Some more gold. Some carved beads.
Step, step, step.
How curious.
Just letting the ink dry.
Get a lot of kind of dodgy
you.
Don't fuck this up, Lindsay.
Applause, please.
DC's only 10. Okay.
What a surprise.
What's in wait for me there, I wonder?
And Lindsay was called forth. Anything else?
Trail me!
Some chainmail, 6 AC, medium armor. I don't think anyone needs this. I'm already wearing banded. She's already wearing chainmail. They're certainly not going to wear it. And a Foul Chard, which is a nice two-handed weapon, but it's in the exotic proficiency group. So I can't use it. Nobody can use it. It's just gonna sit there in that chest.
Time becomes distance.
There's some scrolls. Shield of Faith and Bless. You found a scroll. You have to have used magic device or be of a class which could eventually learn to cast a spell. Yeah, I know. Jathal could use these, I'm sure. But honestly, I don't see myself. I don't really see myself using... I'm not really a using scrolls kind of person. I only have it on the normal difficulty. Well, mostly the normal difficulty. Kind of. Actually, it's a custom difficulty. Some things are harder than normal, some things are easier. But my point is, I don't have the enemies jacked way up, so I don't think I'm going to need scrolls for the most part. Except for maybe the occasional, like, really special, tough fight. Of course, they're not worth anything. They're only worth 6 fucking gold. So it's not like I'm going to get anything for selling them, so maybe I will hold on to them.
Step, step, step.
Let's go this way for now.
What are you dallying for? Telling you Jumandi's cash has to be here somewhere. Well, hurry it up before... Stop! Someone's coming!
Against me.
Work! Work, you silly spell!
Okay, my character is decided
May I
to
see your
stand the fuck
entrails,
around.
please?
Well, good job, team. Find and open a cache in Sword Lord Jumanji Ardori's mansion. Oh no. I've seen this. It's a puzzle. Dagger, padded armor, a club, and a padded armor. Like a take 20 rule option. Take 20 is always nice. Although you were never allowed to take 20 on disarming a trap. Because you can't take 20 on things that have a penalty for failure. Such as setting off a trap. You could take 20 on lockpicking though. Which you're not allowed to do in this, sadly.
Forwards! No backwards, backwards!
Yeah, oh no. Here we go. Alright, so the way this works is we have to fuck around with these statues for 20 minutes and then we open some secret doors. I'm super bad at this sort of thing.
Anything is possible.
I always have a second plan.
Because I'm not good at, like, analyzing patterns or memorizing things, or like seeing, okay, like when you use this statue, it makes that goes down, it makes that goes down. When you use it again, they go back up. You use this statue, it goes down and that one goes up. And then if you use this one again, see now instead of going down, now it goes up. And you've got to basically...
I wrote it like I saw it.
Fuck with all these statues until you successfully have all the statue swords up or all the statue swords down.
Enlighten me.
And I don't really know how to do it.
Call to them.
I just don't know how to do it.
The road calls me. I'll take the bait.
I deserve better.
So many thoughts. So little time.
What troubles you?
So literally, I'm just randomly clicking right now.
I don't tolerate fools.
With no fucking idea.
We shall move.
My patience is running thin.
With no fucking
just letting
idea.
the ink dry.
I mean, I'm supposed to be paying attention.
I crave for adventure.
To what moves what, and like memorizing
Time's
it,
wasting.
and then using logic to determine the order that I need to do them in. But what's actually happening is I'm just clicking on shit randomly and hoping to get lucky. See? Hey, I did it! I'm a puzzle solver! Puzzle solver!
What's in wait for me there, I wonder?
Loot. Gold. A carved urn. A merchant would pay well for it, it says, but it's only worth 2 gold. That's not pay well. A merchant would pay you a tremendously small amount of money for it. A wand of magic missile. Now that's some legitimate loot. That's pretty nice. How many charges does it have? 11. Alright, now that would be a nice thing for her to have. I think it goes into a quick slot.
And Lindsay was called forth.
Wand of skywriting. Now here's the deal. That's not the only secret room, right? You notice all the swords are down, and it opened that up. Whereas...
Quick, quick! Else we miss all the fun!
I wrote it like I saw it.
No, I'm gonna make him go off by himself.
Plan.
Adventures call to them.
So many thoughts. So little time.
Ask.
Now I got, if I can make all of the swords go up, it'll open up a different secret room. So it's time for random clicking. Random clicking. I'm a puzzle solver! It only took 2 clicks! Puzzle solver. Forget what I said about random clicking. I figured that shit out with my superior intellect. Not random clicking at all. Definitely puzzle solving. Well, that was a lot easier than I thought it was gonna be.
Step, step, step.
Are we? A potion of remove blindness. Ooh, that's really good. Citrine and agate. With this RNG master, the game will be a breeze. Gold coins, a silver chain, a wooden mug, an old map of Avestan. Gold, a wooden plate. I mean, seriously, a wooden plate that's worth 1 gold? I'm taking that shit. More junk that looks like it won't really sell for much, but I'm taking it anyway.
becomes distance. Trail me.
We come out into a beautiful courtyard with crazy stag head man statues. I think that's one of the gods. There's like a stag-headed god. This is it. My time has come. Oh, Grotus, take my soul. There's the dwarf cleric again. He's a potential companion. But... There we go. Killed 2 with 1 swing. Oh, who's this asshole? This is Johnny Come Lately.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. 18 piece with a fucking one-hander. I mean, I'm using it in 2 hands, which gives me extra damage with it, but I mean, it's still a one-hander. High price to weight ratios, though. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm taking them. Like, a dagger's worth 1, but it weighs a whole pound, so I'm not taking it. Alright, so Harem is dying, apparently. They give you lots of potions in the beginning. Like, a short bow's worth 8, you know, so it seems worth taking. But studded leather weighs 20 pounds, and it's only worth 6, so it's not worth taking.
Grotus, I can sense your silhouette hovering over me. It won't be much longer. Soon we shall meet, O Lord of Oblivion.
Sometimes there's skills checked in the course of dialogue. The character in the party with the highest bonus in the desired skill is usually used to determine such a check. Well, usually! Alright. So, like, my character's got terrible diplomacy, but Lindsay has great diplomacy, so if it uses hers, you know, then we have a much better chance. Aren't you being a bit premature? Look at yourself. You've barely got a scratch.
You're wrong. Who would know better than I the severity of my own wounds? I can feel the last drops of vital force leaving me.
Okay, see, this added +9, so it didn't use my diplomacy. It used the highest person in the party. You can feel the last drops of vital force leaving him. What's wrong?
I'm dying. I knew this expedition was doomed. Oh, Grotus, my vision darkens.
Quit the act. Stand and fight, or I'll really send you to your final rest.
How rude, speaking to a dying man that way. Look, I can't even move.
The dwarf moves his hand.
It can't be, but I'm gravely wounded. I can't even stand on my own 2 feet. Watch.
The dwarf moves his hands, then looks at them baffled.
It seems I will live. I suppose I must postpone meeting my god, not for long, I'm sure. But while we remain in this transient world, Arim is at your service.
The dwarf grunts as he regains his feet and warily looks down at his blood-stained armor. I don't like this malingering dwarf. But for now, he's our cleric. Yeah, spontaneous casting. Oh, that's another reason why she's going to be a terrible cleric. Because she won't be able to spontaneous cast into cure spells. Because she's evil.
Well, sorry. Was lost in thought.
He's got some Bless, some Bane, some True Strike, some Charge. Channel Positive Energy, which is nice. Heals the whole party. Damages undead. Touch of Chaos. For the next round, anytime the target rolls a d20, they must roll twice and take the less favorable result. So in 5th edition terms, you're giving somebody disadvantage. That's not bad. That'd be nice to keep using on like a tough boss that's gonna hit you like a truck. And it doesn't take up, you know, normal spell slots. It's like its own ability that you can use 7 times a day. Also has Destructive Smite. You gain the supernatural ability to make a melee attack with a morale bonus on damage rolls equal to half your cleric level. So +1 to damage 7 times a day. And that little swirling thing around it means it's on auto-cast right now. Which means, like, basically the next 7 times he attacks, he's going to use that, and then he won't be able to use it anymore. Now I could take it off of auto-cast. But, for now I think it's fine. And he's got a couple of scrolls. No, I don't think this would provoke attacks of opportunity. It's not a spell cast. It's just a touch attack. I don't think this would provoke attacks of opportunity.
Patience.
Servant of a dark god. Abandon hope and embrace the inevitable end. That's the kind of speech that Harem's companions must endure. Every single day. A priest of Grotus, Harem left his dwarven home to spread the word of the god of end times throughout the stolen lands. Although if you ask me, Harem's just a whiner. A one of a kind. He's got a heavy shield. He's got a heavy mace. He's got 17 AC. Got a lot of wisdom, as you might expect. He's got decent perception, religious lore. He can only channel positive energy 3 times a day, though, I think, right now. Rotus. Tooltip is wrong here. It's showing the Inquisitor Destruction tooltip. You can do spontaneous healing, which is not something that she'll be able to do as a cleric. She'll be able to do spontaneous harm. But what that means actually for her is I can just have her memorize cure spells, and then she can spontaneously convert them to inflict spells if she needs to cast them on herself. So that'll still work okay. But she won't have channel positive energy, which really sucks. And all of his dwarf stuff. +2 to hit. Guy sucks. You suck. And he's chaotic neutral, just like me. What's he got memorized? Bless and Bane. Oh, and he doesn't have to memorize Cure because he can spontaneously cure. Now there's some spells here that I'm not really familiar with, because I think they were either added in Pathfinder or they were added in some book for 3.5 that wasn't the core books. Like Fire Belly. Gives you fire resistance 5, and you can breathe fire. Hey, it's like the Burning Jug, Nox. It's like the Burning Jug. And then there's also Ray of Sickening, which I don't think is the same thing as Ray of Enfeeblement. There's Haze of Dreams. Target moves at half normal speed. Remove Sickness. Unbreakable Heart. +4 against mind effects that rely on negative emotions. Summons an extraplanar dog. Oh, True Strike's one of his domain spells. Interesting. Protection from law. So you're constantly getting attacked by lawful creatures, am I right? Well, devils are lawful. But it probably won't be fighting any devils for a while. So this is done. We can cross this task off our list. Alright. Well, he's got, what did he have? Decent AC, right? 17? So he can be sort of a second ranker. So he'll be in the middle of the party. I want these two further back. Okay. Now I can't actually talk to these party members right now. Like, it's not like a lot of these games where you can initiate a dialogue with your party members whenever you want. This is not that. At least not right now during the... I don't think you can ever initiate dialogue with your party members, except for when you're back, like, in town or whatever. I don't know. I'm not certain about how it works. I just learned about formations. Thank you. Well, I mean, not learned about. I just did my formation. Everything looks nice. What's happening here, guys?
You, run and get an axe. You, bring more water. You, stay here and hold our defense. Those assassins are still around here somewhere.
The stout man's unshaven face is covered with scars. There's blood on his armor, but he doesn't even seem to notice his wounds as he confidently gives orders to the guards.
Aha! Some of our guests survived. Good. You need to get to the banquet hall and help Lady Jamandi.
He turns to you. Who are you?
Keston, House Garess, a fighter in the service of Sword Lord Jamandi Aldori. Right now, I'm in charge of the mansion guards. As you can see, there's a lot to do.
House Garess is based in the western part of Brevoy, in the foothills of the Galoshkin Mountains. It is led by Lord Howland Garess, who is a widower. His adoptive heir is Toval Golka, a dwarf, and son of the clan chief of the Golka Dwarves Holding. House Garess had a good relationship with the Golka Dwarves until the dwarves vanished. Members of the house worked the metal that the dwarves mined. The house's motto is, strong as the mountains. They're all tied in with the dwarves, interestingly. What's going on here?
Someone opened the gate, let in a group of assassins in the middle of the night. Now they've set the mansion on fire to cut off access to the hall. They don't want Lady Jamandi to get reinforcements. We cleared the passage so you can get through. Just try to avoid inhaling the smoke. We'll be right behind you. We just need to put out the fire first to save the mansion.
Where's the hall?
You'll have to run through the fire. We've almost put it out at the entrance, so your main concern should be to not inhale any smoke. Hold your breath and take the first right, then head straight down the hallway.
Keston points to the burning building. Oh, we just have to run through a fire. No big deal. I'll go immediately.
May Abadar keep you safe.
Now we're just making up gods. Abadar, the god of cities, law, merchants, and wealth, also called the god of walls and ditches. The god of ditches! That's kind of ignominious. In the Eastern Dragon Empires, is known to be a patient deity. Maintaining a strong neutral stance in his actions, he sets forth to expand civilization and order among the peoples of Golarion. O almighty Lord Abadar, bless thee, this holy ditch. Goddess of sporks. Alright. I guess we're going through a fire. Go through the fire.
What are you waiting for? Get to Lady Jamandi in the banquet hall. Now! May Abadar...
Look, if some god is going to keep me safe, I don't think I want to rely on the god of ditches to keep me safe. How about the god of fire resistance? Well, can we pray to him? Or her? Well, this looks like a shit show. I don't want to run in there. Alright, let's go. Illustrated book episodes. You'll know all about these if you've played such games as Pillars of Eternity. The god of gravy boats. And so our adventure started, earlier and much more tragic than we'd expected. The whole team who'd gathered in the hall yesterday had been reduced to but a handful of brave souls, led by Kata, and not at all by that scoundrel Tartuccio, no matter what he might have imagined of himself. Jamandi Aldori was waiting for us, but to get to her, we'd have to march through fire, literally. As we approached the building burning... The building burning? As we approached the burning building, we... Alright, probably the wise thing to do is to drench ourselves with buckets of water, but I don't see my sort of insane character having the presence of mind to do that. I think she would just run through there like a berserker. So we're just running in. Covered our noses and mouths before we rushed inside. It was a good thing we hadn't wasted any time. After entering the building and taking just a few steps forward, the wall behind us slanted and crashed down with a terrible crackling sound, blocking the way back. While we may not have planned on going back, if we'd come in a little later, the flaming logs and red-hot bricks would have fallen right on our heads. Regardless, we were left with only one way to go. The hot air burned our lungs, and our eyes watered from the smoke. But Kata led us stubbornly through the flames, while Tartuccio did nothing useful at all. We'd made it to the hallway leading to the banquet hall when we heard someone calling for us. It was Valerie, one of the guards I'd chatted with a bit in the banquet hall. Also one of the characters, one of the companions. Valerie, a.k.a. Brienne of Tarth. One of the guards I chatted with a bit in the banquet hall. Even then, in that calm setting, I'd been stunned by her beauty. But now, amid the smoke and flame, she looked like a celestial avenger, an armored deity, menacing but beautiful and merciful, descending from the higher spheres to help us poor mortals. Lindsay is very dramatic. She held a burned, barely living guard in her arms. "There are two more!" she shouted as she passed by us. "They are wounded! Help me pull them out!" Tartuccio grumbled something about how Jamandi was waiting for us. Meanwhile, Kata... Athletics is my shit. Diplomacy, not my shit. Athletics, definitely my shit. She's an opposite of Brienne. You think so, Anonymous? She's all into fucking being a knight and knightly and fucking honor and discipline and being like propriety and doing things the proper way and all that shit. She's just like Brienne. Stuffy. Rush to save the guards from the fire. Of course. Saving the poor fellows didn't take long. Together, we lifted them up and carried them away from the fire. Only then did Valerie pause to catch her breath and wipe the sweat from her face. "Thank you, that was truly noble of you," she said. "And now let us rush to Lady Aldori's aid." Ensuring the guards we'd rescued were relatively safe, we made our way to the hall where the battle was already in full swing. So the DC on that was 15. I only have a +3? Because of my armor, I guess. I must have a huge penalty from armor. Because I had like a +9. One of my characters is fatigued. To find out more about the character's condition, open their character screen. She cannot charge and has a -2 to strength and dexterity.
Give the order. I am your shield.
What's up, Darnaz? How you doing? Your prayers were answered by the goddess of Sword of Dead people.
Don't hesitate.
12 strength. Oh yeah, she's got a -2 from being fatigued. But even so, a 14 strength is not solid for a fighter. Or she's more of a tank than a damage dealer, I think. She has 18 hit points though. And a beefy #beefy 22 AC. She's got a Masterwork Bastard Sword and a Tower Shield. -16 mobility. Seems legit. Speed of 2. She can't fucking hit for shit, though. Like, offensively, she's completely worthless. But she is a serious meat shield. A reliable comrade in battle, proud Valerie rejected her destiny as a paladin of Shaylin, instead leaving the Order behind to find her own way in life. Her loyalty to our cause is only matched by her divine beauty. True, she can be a touch arrogant at times, but I always feel safe when she's around. She's like she's a rock I can cling to. I wouldn't call this a game made by Chris Avallone. He did some writing on this game as a freelancer. He was involved in the game. He was also sort of an advisor, but it's not his game. He wasn't in charge of anything. Atheism. Apparently atheism equals fighting defensively. She can use a bastard sword. That seems like such a tremendous waste of a feat for a completely defensively focused character. Who the fuck cares if she's using a bastard sword instead of a longsword? You know, I mean, she could have spent that on armor focus or shield focus. I'm just saying. Bloop, 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 bloop. But it's concept. Character concept. You can't put a price tag on that. She's a fighter. She might be the only member of my party that I'm going to keep in her actual original class. I think I'm going to keep her just a single class fighter. I might not give her any other multi-classes. She doesn't have spells, naturally. So she's a tank, basically. She's our tank. That's what she is. That's what she does. So, let's put her here. What irks me is that both she and the Barbie love bastard swords. Yeah. Well, that's a character concept thing, too. Obviously, you'd never really make a barbarian that uses bastard sword and not great sword or great axe or something. The only reason they did that is because it's part of Amiri's iconic story. She has a bastard sword that she got from a frost giant, and it's an oversized bastard sword. And as an oversized bastard sword, it does a fuck ton of damage. More damage than a regular two-hander would do, but it's still a weird weapon choice. Dueling sword proficiency would make so much more sense for her. Yeah, or even just, you know, longsword.
I am yours to command.
She doesn't have any special abilities. She's a fighter. I think I'm going to turn fighting defensively on for her, though, since she's not going to hit anyone anyway. Since she's not going to hit anyone anyway.
I'm listening.
I might as well give her 2 more points of AC. It says it's 22. It's not actually showing the extra 2, but that'll give her a 24 AC functionally. No, not Valerie's backstory. That's Amiri's backstory. She's the Barbarian. We don't actually have her in our group at the moment. I don't know of any specific backstory for why she uses a bastard sword.
Or polish your armor. It is why my armor gleams as it does.
Belt lantern.
Give the order. Don't hesitate. I am yours to command. I am your shield. I'm listening.
You don't think she sounds like Brienne of Tarth?
Give the order. Don't hesitate.
Request. You have my attention. State your desire. Share your will. Ask. Speak. You have my attention. State your desire. Request. Share your will. Ask. The undead is such a frivolous term. I prefer immortal, eternal, everlasting. State your desire.
So they do have a thing they say if you click on them enough times.
I am yours to command. Here. I am your shield. I'm listening. Give the order. Don't hesitate. Here. I am your shield. I am yours to command. Give the order. Don't hesitate. Here. I'm listening. I am your shield. Give the order. Don't hesitate. Here. I'm listening. I am yours to command. Give the order. I am your shield. Here. Don't hesitate.
I don't know, maybe not.
The road calls me. I'll take the bait. I crave for adventure. Shall we move? We shall move!
My character sounds crazy as shit.
Quick, quick! Else we miss all the fun! Let's shake a leg! So many thoughts. So little time. I crave for adventure. Shall we move? We shall move!
Oh, sorry. Was lost in thought. Yes, I'm still here. The end draws near. Patience. Grotus awaits us. Well, sorry. Was lost in thought. The end draws near. Patience. Yes, I'm still here.
Just letting the ink dry. And Lindsay was called forth. I wrote it like I saw it. Anything is possible. Adventures call to them. What troubles you? And Lindsay was called forth. Just letting the ink dry. Anything is possible. Adventures call to them. I wrote it like I saw it. And Lindsay was called forth. Just letting the ink dry. Anything is possible.
I deserve better. My patience is running thin. Time's wasting. I always have a second plan. I don't tolerate fools. Enlighten me. My patience is running thin. I deserve better. I always have a second plan. I don't tolerate fools.
Alright. So now we've gotten to know our party members by means of clicking on them a bunch of times. What's up, guards?
I thought I was a goner. If I ever get my hands on that arsonist.
Thank you, Valerie. I owe you my life.
Step, step, step.
Could be possible that it's a d20 roll for the line and you need to confirm a crit to get the funny line. Yeah, it's probably just a very low chance. Alright, oh, let's adjust my formation. So, at this point, we're gonna put her way in the front.
What's in wait for me there, I wonder?
I'm listening.
You have my
I am yours to command.
What troubles you?
Time's wasting.
Adventures call to them.
Give the order.
Uncollected loot. Okay. Here's all the things we left laying on the ground. And we don't want any of them. Can't believe I didn't find any kind of two-handed sword or two-handed axe or two-handed mace. I mean, should I really leave this 210 gold coins behind? I don't think I should. Lindsay didn't like that. Don't you think we have enough trouble already? This'll teach those slovenly guards not to slack off in the job! Alright. About 200 years ago, the countries of Rosslyn and Issia existed within the territory that is now modern Brevoy. Bloody conquest united them into one state, though it failed to erase their differences, and Rosslyn still strives for its independence. This looks serious. Reinforcements are already on the way. Say your prayers, scum! Dude, Jamandi just fucking jacked that giant for 43. She's pretty tough. Alright, we've got a serious assemblage of assholes here.
Time becomes distance.
You cannot stand against me.
Alright.
No.
You know what's cool is if the game like locked up a whole bunch. I think I'm gonna go right after. Now if I move to like right here, we'll see who I can cleave down. Yeah, there was my cleave. Took them both out.
Die, die, die!
You know, I guess now that we're in the serious fight, we can actually use some spells. Magic missile this guy. He's probably too high level to be affected by daze, but we'll try it. Oh, this seems pretty easy. Everybody died really fast.
Serves you right.
Oh, Amiri's here. In your faces, jerks! Praised be Erastil, we made it. That's it. Time to count our losses, I suppose. How disgusting is the monster who has burst into the banquet hall, and how valiantly and disgracefully is Lady Jamandi holding it off. We have to help her, or our journey would be over before it even started. We won, but it's a bitter victory. Of all the brave heroes who had assembled in this hall mere hours ago, only a handful still live. Does this mean our expedition to the Stolen Lands will be cancelled? Let us see what the Sword Lord has to say. I have a feeling it's not going to be cancelled. We got some more potions. Assassin treasure. Assassin leader. More potions. What do we have here? Potion of bark skin. Some unidentified bracers, which are apparently bracers of armor +1. Some alchemist fire. Some acid flasks. A couple more potions here. I think these bows are worth some money. What kind of armor was this asshole wearing? Apparently he wasn't even wearing any armor.
Not even departed, and we already won our first battle! Seems like a good omen, right?
Yeah, we kicked ass. She needs some potions. So, how does this work? Can be conveniently hooked to a belt. Does it just put out light all the time? Potion of Shield of Faith. Sure. Let's give her some real healing potions. I'm gonna give her this potion of Cure Moderate here. Or not. Give her one of these. Whoa! I have 18 Cure Light Wounds potions, plus the ones that are on people's belts? Holy crap. Jathal can't use them. Who's got the best chance to use things like these Alchemist Fire and Acid Flask? They're a ranged attack, so somebody with high dex, so probably Lindsay. Let's take these scrolls off. Give her like an Acid Flask and an Alchemist Fire. I'm gonna steal these scrolls from him. Because I think he's gonna leave my party soon. I'm just saying. Tartuccio no longer needs to own this crossbow. Fuck Tartuccio. Okay. I'm hoping... Now, I know that your starting companions actually depend on, like, decisions and things that happen in dialogues to come and stuff. So you don't always get the same starting companions leaving the tutorial. So I'm hoping I'm gonna get to keep at least Valerie and Lindsay. I might lose all the others. We'll see. Who's this guy? A Zvonky Keeg. An unheard of atrocity! Mark my words, we'll find out who was behind it! Ooh, what's the giant got? A chain shirt and a... Oh, great axe! It's about damn time! It's about damn time! Now we have a invisible weapon. There it is. Oh, it's beast mode too. It's fucking beast mode. For a giant, this was probably a hand axe. So now we're at medium encumbrance. Oh, see, this still has an effect though. It makes your party get fatigued faster. And reduces travel speed on the world map. So I don't really want to be carrying too much crap. Like this chain shirt right here. It's got to go. And... well, that's masterwork, so we're gonna keep it. In fact, we should give that to, like, Harem. So that he's got a better bonus to hit. And that puts him up to a +3. Which means we don't really need this heavy mace that weighs 6 pounds. What else am I carrying that's kind of heavy? Braces of armor. Nobody in my current party is gonna wear that. I mean, this dagger, nobody's gonna use this dagger, right? If she wants to melee, she can use this torch. This crossbow is worth 9, weighs 4 pounds. Damn it, now we're still 0.6 pounds over. Oh, why are we carrying around this heavy-ass scale mail? Wait, what kind of armor is she wearing? Banded mail, same as me, right? She's wearing a chain mail. Scale mail is medium, it gives 5 armor. That gives 6. So nobody's gonna wear this scale mail. Let's get rid of it. There we go, now we're back to a reasonable encumbrance. Although this weight limit is based on all the people in your party, so once we lose some party members, this is going to go down and whatever, but let's not worry about that right now.
Thank you for your valor and bravery. The enemy was strong, but you were stronger, and that means I made the right choice. Just as I thought, there were worthy leaders among you. I'm especially grateful to them for the courage and common sense they showed while defending the mansion. But this attack means we have even less time than I thought. Someone already knows of our plans and is acting against us. You'll begin your expedition immediately.
Kata and Tartuccio. No, just me. Tartuccio wasn't a worthy leader. Tartuccio was a dickhole that didn't even do anything. Didn't even do anything. As Jamandi catches her breath, she looks over the trashed banquet hall and salutes the survivors.
Lady Aldori, please, I know who arranged this attack. The vile king of Pitax, Iroveti. What's more, I know who among us works for him. Hey, you! Show everyone the ring you're wearing. You think I wouldn't recognize Iroveti's seal? That's why she wasn't killed. The bandits recognized her as one of their own by this signet ring.
So Tartuccio's already betraying us. What a shocker. Pitax. Let's see, what did he say? After a dramatic pause, Tartuccio points a finger towards you. It's long a haven for thieves and smugglers. Pitax is a hub for trade in the River Kingdoms. It aspires to be a center of culture and higher learning as well, but cannot escape its more unsavory origins. Okay, so it's a place of scumbags, and Tartuccio is probably from there or works for them or something, because he's the one that had the ring, with the signet ring, and he gave it to us. Knowledge world check passed. I have no connections to Pitax, but Tartuccio's name, accent, and clothes seem like he came straight from there. Which of us looks more like they might be Iroveti's spy?
Probably, yes. But this evidence is circumstantial at best. There's definitely a spy among us. But who? All I have is one word against another. I'm afraid you're both under suspicion.
What?
I bet my life the spy's anyone but this woman. I saw how she dealt with those creeps with my own eyes. A true warrior. I'd go with her through hell and high water. This purple crook, on the other hand. He's got the eyes of a spy. And the mug of a spy!
Spy mug. Hashtag spy mug. That spitting sound effect, though. Top shelf voice acting with the spitting sound effect. Amiri spits on the floor with contempt.
Lady Aldori, don't listen to this thick-headed barbarian. She doesn't know what she's talking about. During the attack, our leader showed her true colors. She forced us to break into the armory and rob it.
Ah, he admits that I'm the leader.
And not just that. Upon finding the guards' salaries in the armory, she immediately pocketed it all.
During a battle in Jamandi Aldori's residence, you discovered the soldiers' wages and decided to keep them. Well, I mean... moral choices. Shifting your alignment. Okay. Let's just see what happens if I go with my chaotic neutralness.
So what if we did? The guards weren't able to handle their responsibilities, so we decided we should teach them a lesson.
I'll be the judge of how my guards have handled their responsibilities. Please return the money now.
She didn't like that. I knew I shouldn't have taken that money.
Of course, theft is not to be condoned. But when the fire burns around you, and you are but one step away from death, would it not be insane to worry about laws and rules? I see this not as a crime, but as a unique wisdom visiting us as we stood at the face of oblivion.
Thanks, Harem. But I think I fucked this up. I think I'm gonna get the wrong companions.
There is a difference between initiative taken in battle and blatant arrogation. How can someone who disregards authorities be a leader herself?
What about that trick she pulled right before we came in here? She knew very well you were fighting the enemy, but instead of rushing to help you, she dallied as long as she could, dropping everything to save people from the fire, even though the guards were handling things just fine. She was obviously hoping to show up too late and find you already dead.
People were dying right in front of me. How could I just walk by?
Really, Tartuccio? You're seriously trying to blame someone for saving people from a fire?
May Shellen spare me from ever having to make such a choice, but she behaved decently, as a true leader.
Shellen, also known as Eternal Rose, the Eternal Maiden, and the Incorruptible, is the goddess of art, beauty, love, and music, and the half-sister of Zon Cthulhu. Shellen focuses just as much attention on internal beauty as external. As aspects of her role as goddess of beauty, Shellen also promotes the creation of art and the composing and performance of music. Clerics of Shellen frequently are artists themselves. As the goddess of love, Shellen encourages the proliferation of that feeling in all its forms. She is not the goddess of sexuality, lust, or fertility, and makes a very clear distinction between love and sexuality, although she does not in any way discourage erotic love. The few paladins who worship her practice courtly love. Courtly love.
A true leader is someone who has their priorities straight, not someone who would put a valuable ally's life in danger for the sake of some servant.
Alright, so Jathal is not coming with us.
Enough squabbling. I'm still not sure which of you I can trust. However, the risk of entrusting the whole affair to a spy is too great. Here's what we'll do. 2 teams will head out. That way, I'll know at least one group can be counted on to serve my interests in the stolen lands.
One will be headed by Tartuccio and the other by Kata. She's sending us out in 2 groups.
Lady Aldori, most of those who were to set off for the stolen lands have been killed. Those who yet live will require help. Please allow me to join the expedition.
Valerie bows respectfully to the Sword Lord. See, I really wanted Valerie, not fucking Grotus Man. So I've got 2 options, really. I can reload my save and just pick the other dialogue option, or I can just roll with it.
I'm sad to lose such a talented warrior. But you're right, Valerie. They have greater need of you right now. Go, and may Abadar keep you. Which of the 2 teams would you prefer to accompany?
If Tartuccio allows, I would join his team. Forgive me, but I don't appreciate your willfulness.
My willfulness? You don't think fucking Tartuccio is Mr. Willfulness? You described your motives in a way that seemed too chaotic and not credible to Valerie. Yeah, I know I did.
And I like our leader. What wisdom lies in minding orders, laws, and rules in the face of oblivion, knowing not whether you'll be alive tomorrow? I will go with her team.
Our leader is good in battle, but I don't like all the spiritual agonizing. I prefer those who can act without wasting time helping every little pipsqueak. Those like Tartuccio.
Jaethal considered the thoughts you shared in your conversation with Jamandi and found too much pointless kindness. Hashtag pointless kindness. She was unimpressed. This is actually fine because this one is a choice between Jaethal and Lindsay, and I definitely want Lindsay. I mean, I'm gonna get Jaethal later.
Ugh, Tartuccio's going to take the credit for himself and be done with it. Shellen, spare me from such allies. I'm going with you. You're a hero worthy of my quill.
I don't even need to think. I'm coming with this woman. As for you, Purple Toad, just wait until we meet along the way. I'll be sure to hang your rotten spy guts from the trees.
Punch you in your spy mug. Alright, so Amiri's with us.
Alright, we have 2 teams. To avoid unnecessary conflict on the road, you'll each take a different route to the Stolen Lands. Tartuccio's team will go through Navacta's Crossing. The garrison commandant will provide him all the help he needs. You will take your team to Oleg Levitin's trading post. He's been complaining about the Stag Lord's bandits for a while now. There, you'll be provided with all the necessary travel supplies.
I got some supplies and rations ×4 and a signed scroll of Ray's dad. Yeah, I think Amiri joins you no matter what you do. Navacta's Crossing is a village at the very southern edge of Rostland, protected by a wooden palisade wall surrounding it. The South Rostland Road runs through the village, as does the road leading to the newly established settlement at Varnhold. This place is home to trappers, anglers, hunters, and tradesmen. The locals are a serious bunch and very suspicious of strangers, especially those from the Stolen Lands. That's not where we're going, though. We're going to Oleg Levitin's trading post. This abandoned border fort at the southern edge of Rostland found a new life recently. Oleg and Svetlana Levitin, a couple from Rostov, rebuilt it into a trading post. This place is now one of the few hospitable shelters for travelers in the surrounding wilderness. It sounds cooler anyway.
I'd like to believe you, but I know all too well how convincing traitors and spies can be. If you're truly innocent, I hope you can forgive me this precaution.
Yeah. Okay.
While you're away, Keston will investigate the night's events and learn who in Rostov is working for Patox. But you should know that it isn't just Patox we need to worry about. The royal house of Sertova may also interfere in our plans. I've managed to keep this affair a secret from them so far, but that can't last long. By my estimations, you have no more than 3 months. After that, any feats you accomplish will be pointless.
Time limits, no! No, but I think that's just 3 months to complete the first chapter, which is more than enough time, I'm pretty sure. Royal House of Sertova, we got so much politics up in here. House Sertova, the current ruling family of Brevoy, is also the oldest Brevik noble family and the most influential. Their original holdings are the environs of Port Ice in northern Issia, on the shores of the Lake of Mists and Veils. The Sertovas are known as careful and cunning diplomats. Before Coral the Conqueror invaded, the Sertovas were known as pirates and raiders, and the family still has many connections with the pirates and brigands of the region, many of whom are distant relations of the Sertova clan. Their family motto is, "Ours is the right." So they're like, we're not gonna have a fucking bandit become the Baron. We can't be giving noble titles out to bandits. Even though literally the oldest and most influential noble family is just a bunch of fucking pirates and raiders. Hypocrisy. It's real.
And now, farewell. This battle was but the first ordeal along your path, and you overcame it as true champions of Rostov. May the obstacles that follow also fall to your feet. Fear nothing, my friends, and return victorious.
The first step on the road to glory. Complete. I like this black screen. It's really good content.
Surviving a terrible night, our small team set off to brave our fate. Beware, stolen lands. Heroes are on the way.
Nice. Cool. This is a map of the Stolen Lands. To set out, click on one of the arrows near your party token. You can learn the whereabouts of significant locations by talking to characters or happening upon them during your journey. You have to find your way there yourself. Random encounters, you can be attacked, other shit can happen. Alright. Show location names. Let's turn that on. Rest of. There's no zooming out, apparently. There's also no scroll. Oh, there's some scrolling. What's this? There's the whole. Okay, oh my god. That's how big the map is. This whole area that's like, that we're literally on is just that. And it's all of this. Numeria. We've got Branthland. We've got the Branthland Mountains. Whisper River, we got Thousand Voices. That sounds intriguing. Rushlight. There's Patax. The Dire Gnarl Marches. The South Gnarl Marches. Less dire. More southern. Candlemere Lake, the Tuskwater. We got the Murk River and the Skunk River. That's a really nice name for a river. She draws herself taller in her book. Nice. The filling the role of the little girl from Icewind Dale 2. North Gnarl Marches. We've got the Thorn River. We've got Shrike and the Shrike River. We've got the Kamalands or the Kamelands. Little Sellen River. Got the Gudrun River. We got Lake Silverstep up in here. South Roslyn Road. Some more rivers. There's Varnhold. There's Silverstep. Here's Tours of Leven. Tours of Lebanese. And Dunsword. And here we are way up here in Restov. Need to find a good place to shower so Lindsay can get the feces off her face. Wait, why does she have feces on her face? How do I feel about the fact that... Oh, the good news is our party encumbrance limit actually went up because we got another person with high strength. Oh, it's ink. It's ink on her face, not feces, because she's always writing and stuff. Vivisectionist's dream of having an island full of beastman chimeras is possible. The island of Dr. Moreau. Oh, look, she's fucking badass with that giant axe. Now she's hitting for 1d12 plus 10. That is a solid amount of hitting. Unfortunately, we don't have a real tank now. Amiri ain't no kind of tank. Her armor class is terrible, plus her armor class goes down when she's in a rage, so she's just going to constantly be taking hits and go down. And my armor class is okay, but it's not great. I mean, I'm not really the finest of fucking defenders, let's put it that way. But I will be killing stuff really well, so that's good. Alright, so now we know who's in our party. Oh, damn it! I gave all those potions and stuff to Valerie because I thought she was going to be with us. Including the good potion. I mean, that's fine. I have plenty of potions, but my point is, I wouldn't have done that if I thought she was going to leave. I didn't think I was going to have Grotus Boy. That's fine. Let's give him some scrolls. And let's give him some potions. He's got chainmail, a heavy shield, a masterwork light mace. She's got the wand, she's got a couple special flasks of nonsense. She's got a couple potions. She needs to be loaded up with pots. Remove blindness, bracers of armor. Proper tanks are for higher difficulties anyway. You're probably right. You're probably right, Anonymous. Actually, I'm gonna tank Emiria up real fast. The very first thing she's taking is a level in fighter. I'm not keeping her as a single class barbarian. I mean, I'm not going to go so far as to give her a shield, but I am going to get her in some heavy armor right away. Alright. There's only one place we can travel. Ooh! Reading. Wait, we read this about Rostov already. We already read a tooltip about this. Alright, so we could camp. Oh, we could literally camp right now if we want. But we don't want to camp right now. And we could open the journal. So we did the secret room. The gnome sorcerer Tartuccio, our leader's rival for the Baron's coronet, is wandering somewhere in the Stolen Lands. He is cunning, dangerous, and definitely preparing something nasty for us. One way or another, we must defeat him. Our daring Keda and the insidious sorcerer Tartuccio received a special task from Jamandi Aldori, a chance to claim their own barony. But only one of them may prevail. We must seek Tartuccio out in the Stolen Lands and find out what our rival is busy with. This will fail in 89 days and 23 hours. We're setting off on our first big adventure. Jamandi Aldori, a Restovic sword lord, is testing the contenders, weighing who shall be ruler of the Stolen Lands. There's only one way to prove that you're worthy of the title. Rid the area of the ravaging bandits and their leader, the bloody cutthroat known only as the Stag Lord. Tremble, ye scoundrels, we are coming! We can find shelter and get fresh information about the bandits at the trading post of a certain Oleg Levitin. Let's get there! Jamandi Aldori said that we have no more than 3 months to conquer the Stolen Lands. That sounds like more than enough, but we should still be mindful of the passing time. I write this in the same banquet hall in which we just finished helping fight off a vile attack on the mansion. Our adventure started much earlier than I'd expected, and it turned out to be much crueler than I'd imagined. It pains me to think that so many of those who just recently heard Lady Aldori's speech are no longer with us. But still, against all odds, we venture forth. We have gathered our party. Okay. I want him to have... I don't like the fact this only lasts 1 round per level. That is not very long. Alright. We're ready to go. Ooh, we're moving nice and fast on the world map because we're not encumbered. Random encounter.
Make an epic pose. I need inspiration.
What do we got? Some thylacines. Whatever the fuck those are. So now she's immediately going into a rage, which is not really a habit I want her to get into. I want her to rage when I want her to rage. She only gets a few rounds of rage per day. And I don't want her just casually raging whenever the fuck she wants. Jesus, it takes my character forever to do anything. What do I roll for initiative? Like 0? Initiative check 13. Okay, I don't get it. If my initiative check was 13, and Harem's initiative check was 13, why did I stand around for a damn hour while Harem went straight in and started fighting? Oh, you can skin them. And that produces a thylacine pelt.
The end draws near.
Just realized, though, that... Well, we'll be fine. We don't need any healing spells right now, do we? I mean, do we? I'm Lindsay, the author of the book you, my dear reader, hold in your hands. I once studied at the Academy of the Arts in Pitax, but I decided that a real bard doesn't belong within the suffocating walls of some school, and instead set off to find a hero, one worthy of being praised throughout the ages. And that's how I came to chronicle Kata's journey. Let's continue our journey. Alright, we've already read this. Armag, an ancient chieftain of the Numerian barbarians, was the chosen of Gorum, the merciless god of war. Legends say that no one was able to defeat Armag in battle until Pharasma, the goddess of death, sent her servants to kill him, enraging his patron. Okay. Alright, we've made it to Oleg's trading post. That means this is a great time to take a very short break. If you're watching the stream, don't go anywhere because I am not done playing. If you're watching on YouTube, that's going to do it for this episode. Thank you for watching. This has been Josiah Plays Pathfinder Kingmaker.